Joan. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Not so wonderful.
Why? What's the matter?
Because it's too early.
Oh.
I don't want to be on the stupid 7 o'clock hour. Nobody's up.
You're telling me about it.
You're
Tell
up.
me about it, yep.
Yeah, but you don't have to go on. Hello.
That's true.
You don't have to go on camera.
It's hard walking backwards at this hour, though.
I know it is, but you're doing a brilliant job. I used to go into the hold it.
Yes.
It's like Ashworth.
So one thing, I put it in the forwarded notes and I didn't put it on here, you might want to write it down, was that supposedly Melissa broke up with the boyfriend because he was webcamming with girls.
Now, so you're talking about the AVN guy?
No.
No. The boyfriend she was living with that's featured on the show all the time. In fact, the breakup happens on the show, but it was her live-in boyfriend.
And he was webcamming girls, and is that generally known? Has she?
She talked about it
She
on...
said it on Good Morning America.
But she didn't really get into detail with it.
Yeah, she wouldn't go into...
Now she's with the guy from...
From Vivid, right. It's got to be worth $1 gazillion.
She was at the AVNs this past weekend.
She went?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
They were talking to Joe, who's the Girls Gone Wild guy?
Joe Francis.
Yeah. At least publicly, Joan's like very supportive. You know, he's a rich Jewish guy, so she's very happy for him.
Yeah, but Joan didn't like the first husband. Never said it.
Joan Rivers has been around for... Hey, guys, I need a plug. I'm sure she's got a ton of them. Joan and Melissa are here.
They must be plugging the fact that they have a reality show that's returning.
Yeah, it's the second season for them. Good for them. There we go. Thanks, Will. Joan's running around with her daughter, Melissa. They have a reality show, and it's on... What network? E? No, W-E.
Yeah.
We. Not E, we. We? What's with Melissa? Hey, baby.
Good morning.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey there. How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time.
Who are you saying that to?
Melissa.
Oh, Melissa. Yeah, Melissa is a West Coast girl.
Yeah, she doesn't come this way often.
She doesn't need to do this.
Hello.
Can I fix my hair? Good morning.
What's happening, guys?
What's happening? We're pushing our show because it starts tonight at 9 o'clock.
What
right
is it?
opposite Obama. I'm going to turn
great.
Republican.
Great.
Hey, Melissa.
How are you?
Melissa, what's the arrangement? Is Joan buy you a lot of stuff? Seriously?
No.
No support whatsoever?
No, I mean, we're supportive of each other.
No, I mean money. I'm talking moolah. How does Joan work it? I mean, does she spoil
You think she's
you?
being supported by Melissa? I mean, Melissa's being supported
Yes.
by Joan?
At this point in my life?
Yes.
No.
What's the arrangement,
Well,
though?
the
You live a
arrangement should
very
be-
big lifestyle.
Yes,
No, I
does.
not
Ish.
like, not really.
I see your house on the reality show. It's a very substantial home.
But it looks bigger on TV than it is.
And
Not
okay,
my
you,
room.
You were.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
What little room did they put
but
you
remember,
in?
now it's
Why is your
reversed.
mom's room so small?
It's a guest room.
Oh, I mean-
It's a guest room.
You know, in New York in the old days, before political correctness, they used to call it maid's room.
Yeah, Joan, are you in the maid's room?
She's in the guest room.
Right.
It's a maid's
But
room.
let's
in the
remember, my
broom
mom's
closet.
living with me, not paying rent.
Right.
She's not paying for any food.
No, but is
She
Joan?
entertains at the house.
But
Yes,
is
I do.
I absorb all of this.
All my many dates.
Your many
come to
dates
that.
come through and they eat a lot.
Joan doesn't offer to pay for rent or like say, hey,
No.
let me help out with costs or expenses? What is your understanding of? Melissa has a very expensive lifestyle.
Yes.
What is your understanding of how is she hooking on the side? What is she
Yes,
doing?
I am.
Right.
I've finally been outed.
What do you think, Joan?
And she's now in the porn industry.
I am not in the porn industry.
know. Well,
Going
we're
out
gonna-
with the head of Vivid. It's
We'll get
terrific.
to that.
Mom, why don't you just take it and just hurl it out there?
And by
Joan-
the way, I saw your early
Tapes.
tape, Robin. You were great.
What early
On
days?
what?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, on Vivid, you mean? Yeah. Well, she's done some just blowjob stuff, not
Oh, it doesn't
intercourse.
count. Ask Clinton.
Why don't you turn to Melissa right now, Joan? No jokes. I want everything off. I want all the jokes off the table.
Sure.
We'll get real
That's
here.
easy.
Yeah.
That'll support me.
Why you are so bold and brave in your career, and I've seen you on TV in England light into people and really give it to them, and yet you've never turned to Melissa and said in all the years when she was married and these subsequent guys that you don't like the guys she dates.
No.
You
Now, how
stay
old
quiet
are your
about it.
daughters?
My daughters are. One's going to turn 30 soon.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
My oldest, she's 29.
Can you believe that?
That's right.
No.
And I have a 26-year-old.
Right.
I know. With me, people still think I have little kids. At home.
Yes.
But they think that with me with Cooper, too. Cooper turned 11 in December.
Are you kidding?
Well, 11's a little kid. My
But
kids.
still, I'm thinking Cooper's a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And my youngest is in college. You know.
Yeah.
She's
So-
she just turned 19 today. Today is her birthday.
Happy
goodness,
birthday.
happy
Give me
birthday,
the old
Ashley.
balloons, the dead balloons.
Yeah, they're
from
left
Ashley.
over from yours.
Right. So listen to me.
Yeah, why don't I tell her I don't like him?
You did not like her first husband whatsoever.
No,
You did not.
not really. I like him more now. I really like him
But you
now.
used to say to me when she was married, because we would talk privately.
Yes.
You said, I do not like that husband of Melissa's.
Right.
But you never would tell her.
No, because it's not who I like. It's who makes her happy and who it works with them. You know that.
But do you
Have
tell
you-
your daughters?
Oh, are you kidding? I'm afraid of them. Have you ever?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. They don't listen to me. Have you ever liked anyone Melissa dated?
Yeah, I've liked 2 guys that she's dated.
A long time ago, I guess.
No, I like Good John, as we used to call him.
Yep, you
I thought
did.
he was terrific.
You don't like the porno guy?
Oh, I adore him.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, he is so
Joan,
smart.
Stop it.
I'm telling you, he's not like
He's in the
Gold Check.
pornography industry.
He's in the, and so is a Marriott Hotel. Look, I moved over. So is a
Joan,
Marriott Hotel. They
Joan,
buy his product.
stop it. I know you many years.
I swear.
You're not pleased with this.
On Cooper's life, this is a businessman. This is one
She
of his
really
businesses.
likes him.
Smart.
And you like him?
Yeah.
UCLA graduate. His partner went to Dartmouth. They're 2 smart Jewish boys who said, we can do that and do it better.
All right. But what about the fact that the women are fucking on camera?
Yeah.
And
Excuse me, let's talk about the
you don't think-
Kardashians and
but
let's talk
don't you
about
think-
Paris Hilton.
But don't you think it's going to lead to disaster for Melissa?
Eventually, probably.
Because
the others have too.
he is surrounded by gorgeous women. These are
Yes.
women who want to get ahead in the porn industry.
Yes.
They're ready to blow him.
Yes.
They're ready to fuck him. Melissa, what are we up to here? I mean,
Yeah, that
How did
worries
this
me.
happen?
yeah.
We were set up by a mutual friend.
Really?
Yeah. Completely, just innocently. Like, you guys would get along, and I said no for a long time. And then.
Does he want porn star kind of sex? Is he
No.
more aggressive in the
No,
sack?
he's very normal.
He doesn't spank you?
No.
He doesn't try to give you anal?
No.
Joan loves anal. Why?
But that's where we're different.
So disappointed.
That's
sorry.
where we're
She's sorry for
different.
her
Everybody's
daughter.
always so.
Joan-
But he always says the same thing. It's like people come to his office thinking it's going to be, an orgy in the office, and people are very disappointed. It's a business.
Why? And let's be real. Your mother doesn't really live with you. That's for the TV
No,
show.
my mother really does live with me.
Joan,
Wait a minute, Joan. What are you doing living with Melissa?
She's with me 4 days a week.
Yeah, I really like it
Because of
now.
fashion police.
is that
like
really
prisons?
true?
Yes.
You know the Stockholm Syndrome?
Joan,
That's me.
I like myself
where do you live? Where do you live the other 3 days?
in New York. I have
Okay.
the best life in the world. I go back and forth.
And you have closet space in Melissa's
York.
house.
Yes,
we
she took
took
over
over-
my gym, my
Yeah.
little, where my treadmill
Her
is.
gym. We took
My
over the
gym, which
gym.
fits a treadmill.
This is so sad.
And has put clothing
Yes.
racks up, and I put a screen in front of it, and her clothes are all over. There's racks all over the treadmill.
You don't have a separate place in LA where
No.
you go to be by
No. I
yourself.
I don't want it.
She
You
doesn't
wanna
even
be
have a
with-
car.
Does that bother? Is your mother a burden?
I don't think
Yes.
she's well.
Go ahead.
Don't have a sip of coffee.
Is she a burden?
She's not a burden.
I'm a Jew burden.
She's not
Is
a
she a Jew
burden.
burden?
She's not a burden. Maybe a little bit of a burden.
But
Does she cramp your lifestyle?
I have no lifestyle.
right?
I have my son and my work.
Let me
It's
tell
what
you.
I do.
I can't cram it because I'm so far downstairs that I don't hear anything
Would you
going
prefer
on.
your mother to have her own space, her own place somewhere? Would you prefer that?
I think at 2 days a week it would be ideal.
Thank you.
4, it gets a little close quarters.
She is so lucky. I like candles. I change things around.
She moves
I
stuff
make it
around.
pretty
When you
fun.
hear that your daughter says she wants you there maybe 2 days a week, that would be a nice thing, and that 4 is too much, does that affect your decision?
Well, the other thing,
Is that true? You really are not offended by that, and you don't say to yourself, I got to give her space?
Oh, she's hurt me in other ways too.
well, the best
This is not the first hurt.
Right.
I mean, literally, my mom shows up. My dogs ditch me.
Right.
My
They love her.
my housekeeper. My mom has completely bought off my housekeeper, who now barely cleans when my mom's not there.
And
Because my mom just keeps handing her money.
Yeah.
So my mom's laundry gets done first, like everything. I'm now the renter.
but
Try tipping them.
you seem
They
to.
work for me. I don't need to tip people I give a salary to. I find that a little absurd.
You see, you're telling me you're amused by this, though. By your smile and laughing,
Yes.
you're amused by your mother.
Most of the time.
Right. You
My
haven't-
son really enjoys it.
You're a good sport.
I'm a very good sport.
Right.
And patient.
Right. And your sexual life with this new guy you're seeing, the guy
I
from
can't hear him down the dungeon.
Vivid Entertainment. Well, how do you keep that? Do you do it in your house?
Well, we only see each other on non-custodial days with our children.
I see. Your husband, your ex-husband has the kid, and then you can have sex.
And then he comes back to my house, and my ex-husband can do what he wants to do.
And do you ever watch the product with him when he
No.
produces a porno?
No.
But
Do
you
s-
went to the AVN Awards.
Yes.
Was that really skeezy?
It was actually, I had a really good time.
You
it
had
was
fun.
hilarious. Yeah.
So you're getting sucked into the porno life.
Me too.
Joan,
Well,
you
my
went?
mom calls me and says, are there any swag bags?
Right.
All she wanted was a swag bag.
What would they have in a swag
I
bag?
have no
at the
idea.
AVN?
There weren't
Joan,
any.
Joan needs a tremendous amount of lube.
Yeah, lubricant and new kind of ticklish.
She wanted a swag bag.
Do you see any guys now, Joan, or are you completely done?
I would like to, but there's nobody at this age.
You're never going to see anyone.
No, there's nobody around.
The
And you're not-
field has thinned.
And Betty White, that slut, is out there taking off the cream.
By the way, is everyone getting a little tired of the whole Betty White worship thing? Honestly, Joan.
I think it's wonderful because they now think I'm the young chick over at We.
No, but be
No,
honest.
seriously, I'm being honest with you.
I mean,
She's
I
going
think
at
Betty White
90.
is a fine actress and stuff, but I mean the carrying on and the.
But American, first of all, she's a nice lady, truly.
Right, right. I think so, and
very
talented.
nice lady.
Right,
That's
but it's a
number one.
bit much enough.
But America needs someone to love. I think it's a lot of we need
a
someone-
grandma.
We need a grandma.
Right, right. And believe me, you do not want to
You
be the
don't
grandma.
qualify.
You're
No,
not
I don't want to
kidding.
be the grandma.
You don't qualify.
Listen, I was thinking about Joan for a second here. And by the way, we shouldn't talk too much to Melissa because Joan gets very nervous.
No,
You
no.
think?
Yeah, she can't handle it.
She can't handle
No.
Melissa getting attention?
Oh, absolutely not. It's a big competition. Joan didn't get all decked out to be ignored. Joan, I was thinking about you. When Elizabeth Taylor died, I said the connection between Joan and Elizabeth Taylor is very strong because if people remember their history, Joan, back in the day when people were very reverential, Joan used to go on TV and blast and make fun of Elizabeth Taylor. And I thought it brought you to a new level of fame and popularity.
Yes, it did.
So when she died, were you thinking, oh, I was too mean to her?
Not at all.
You did not have any regrets?
No, everybody did. Seriously, we're talking seriously for a second. Everybody did Elizabeth Taylor jokes. Mine were just the best.
They were funny.
So everyone remembered me doing them. Every comedian had Elizabeth Taylor is so fat jokes.
Right.
But mine were the good ones. So it all looked like I was coming down on her. And in the end, we kind of made up. As much
Well, no,
as we
you did
could.
a lot of AIDS
Yeah,
work
AIDS
together,
work together.
very much in the beginning.
And when you say you did AIDS work with her, you were face to face
gave
with
it
her?
to her.
And when you gave her AIDS. I thought so. I knew you had AIDS. Poor woman. Joan, when you met her face to face, did she say to you, "You bitch, you wrecked me"?
No, we did the very early AIDS benefit. I got her involved in AIDS. Everyone always thought it was her, but I got her.
It was really you who cured
And then she
AIDS.
took it over
And great.
What happened to you?
She stole it from Joan.
Stepped over me. I still have the heel mark on my cheek.
Joan had to go to penis cancer to
Oh,
raise
She
yeah.
had
money.
to take
God
up
for that.
ball
Right.
cancer.
So when you met her face to face, how did you reconcile? Because you were brutal to her.
She said to Roddy McDowell, who was a friend of ours, because I had said to him, "Am I going too far?"
Right.
He was a mutual friend. Because you never want to go to the point where it's really ugly, you know. And he asked her, and she said, "She doesn't get me where I live." She was so beautiful that she was so confident that it meant nothing. I've never had that luck. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
right.
I've
That's
never-
unusual. That's
Yeah.
unusual that somebody wouldn't be affected by it. If
Not-
somebody was slamming me on TV every night, I would get angry and fight back.
But she thought when she was at her fattest, when you could put 4 wheels on her and paint her yellow, and school kids would mount her.
Right.
I mean, she still thought she was gorgeous.
Right. She
And
never knew that she
Never-
hit the wall.
You know when fat women don't know they're fat, or when old women still think they're young and hot?
Right.
And
That
you know,
was Liz?
Liz, and there are a couple of others out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
in California, they still think, I had one of those bitches. She entered a wet T-shirt contest. She had a pacemaker. She was electrocuted.
You know what's sad to me? When a good-looking girl lets herself go, that's the worst shame. Because, listen, if you're not a good-looking girl, God bless you, you might as well get fat. But you see someone like a Christina Aguilera, who is so
She has no
beautiful.
neck.
What happened to her, Joan? Did she
lost her
stop
neck.
caring?
I think she lost her neck in a poker game.
Have you criticized her for this?
Is there a choice?
Right, and she's been angry with you because you have tried to yell at her to get skinny again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not working.
No.
The Donna party could have lived on her for the whole winter and come out picking their teeth.
Right. But that's a shame when a good-looking girl lets herself
I think so.
lets herself go.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do think so.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's causing that for her. I don't know what's happening in her life.
See,
I try
who
to
cares?
understand.
I don't.
Melissa always has to keep herself hot and thin,
Yes.
right? Your mother would ridicule you if
Oh,
you
for
didn't.
sure. Well, I get ridiculed anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Did she criticize you growing up? Oh, your tuchus is
Joan
getting
is
too
looking
big.
at you like, ridicule?
Oh,
What
absolutely.
ridicule?
Yeah, Joan must have been. I'm being serious now. You must have walked around as a kid completely in fear that your mother was going to criticize you. She's very, very, very looks conscious.
Judgmental, huh?
Right?
It still is.
Does she comment still on your appearance?
Every phone call I end by saying, put on makeup.
Every phone
Instead
call.
of goodbye.
No,
Makeup is
and
important.
also don't eat. That's
Don't
another thing.
eat.
Don't eat. You're going out to dinner. Don't eat.
Right.
Don't eat.
But
your mother's right.
She's got a great body.
Yes, thanks
She's
to
going
you.
out with the porn king of America.
Right.
It isn't the time to get flabby.
Is it weird when you get naked in front of a guy who really is in the porn industry? Because he's been completely warped out, as I have. I mean, I see so many beautiful women over there. I'm warped out from it. I think everyone's hotter than the next person. So when you take your clothes off in front of a guy who's staring at porn all day, I imagine it's intimidating.
I really try not to think about it.
Do you get fully naked in front of him?
Well,
Or do you try to get under the covers? When
I'm an under the covers girl.
Are you?
Yeah. Right, immediately.
She's got a great body. We went to Mexico and she was running around in her bikini. She looked fabulous.
She did. And the boyfriend was there.
Yeah.
And he's looking you over, right?
But, but she looked great. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let her be in a
Otherwise,
bikini.
you would have covered me up.
I would have
Yeah.
I would have bumped into
You
her,
looked her
thrown a
over,
towel
right?
on her.
Joan, you know your mother's looking you
Oh,
over.
always. More than anyone.
Right. And did you look for stretch marks from giving birth? Did you really
No, I
look
don't have
her over?
stretch
She
marks.
doesn't. She has a great body.
If
And
you
I
saw-
get angry because she doesn't show it off.
Right, she should dress sexier.
Thank
Oh, my
you.
God, here we go.
Even this outfit today doesn't reveal much, right?
No.
She's covered up.
And now's the time for her to reveal it, right, Joan?
That's what I say. Wait, what? You want
Robin,
to
help me.
My
Joan
arms,
knows.
I can fly to California and back without a plane.
Joan knows that at one point it all caves in.
But
and
I don't
no
feel
offense.
I
and,
don't feel
your mother hangs in there, but listen,
compelled to walk around with everything hanging
Yeah,
out.
why does Melissa have to do what Joan would do?
because Joan
Yeah.
is in show business.
And because she's going to hit an age where she's going to say, "Why didn't I?"
Right. Why
you
didn't
think
I?
that, but you don't know that.
Joan, what should Melissa be wearing? Disrobe her
Nothing.
now. Take it off. Take her clothes
Nothing.
off
She should
in
be
front of her.
Wearing nothing, just naked.
She has
Yeah,
a
and
great
heels.
body.
Have you seen Jo-
very high heels
Right, she
and
wears
a whip in her hand?
Let me see your heels. Let me see.
I'm
your
not wearing-
Yes,
No,
flats.
she's saying
Flats.
that she should be in high
Joan.
She's saying I should be in high heels.
Is anything less hot than flats?
No.
Right.
I'm 165 years old and I'm in heels.
Yeah, look at you. Beautiful.
165?
I knew it.
Come June.
You finally admitted your real age. No, but you're right, because what your mom is saying, honey, I know from experience. When I was young, I should have shown my titties. I should have done something with all of this. You know, your mother works hard on her look. So she's saying you're going to have regrets. You've got a gorgeous body. The way you're
Who
dressing
should
today.
she be showing it to? Why should
Right,
she be
Men.
showing it
but also
to
Men and
everyone?
women.
But
Why not?
My mom's. If my mom, she's the one who wanted me to pose naked.
Yes.
In Playboy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the latest offer from Playboy? I heard you got another offer.
No, I got an offer from another porn company
How much
Ooh,
was
you
it?
didn't tell
to
me.
do some sort of video.
Fabulous.
And wasn't it over $600,000?
I don't even know. I think it
And she
was a
turned
lot
it
of.
down, and
Yeah.
I'm doing club dates in the Midwest.
I'm not
what I
going
mean.
to do a
What'd you
sex
teach her?
tape.
I'm saying hello in Indian casinos.
I was raised with moral fiber.
So
I
How did that happen, Joan?
And an education.
Joan, have you seen Melissa nude, fully nude recently?
yes.
Where did you see her nude?
I walk into a room unannounced a lot
Right.
when I come out of the dungeon.
And is she fully shaved?
Yes.
She is.
No, Mom.
What?
Oh my God!
What?
I'm thinking legs and
No, I'm talking vagina. It's fully
I didn't
shaved.
really look at it.
You looked.
A little bit.
Was there a little bit of hair there?
A little.
Because you look to see what's doing.
Initials.
Right. Why do you keep a little bit of hair? Why not shave it all off?
Because I think that's nasty.
Why is that nasty?
Oh,
Robin shaves it all off.
To me, it's not. Mom.
Mom, I'm so upset that you got a porn thing and she didn't tell me.
I know.
A porn offer.
Because she knows you'll push her into it.
Yeah, if you would try, you'd badger me until I did it.
This is third season for Joan and Melissa. There's no question. That's our premiere episode.
Joan, did I read somewhere that you went on vacation with Cindy Adams and Judge
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
I can't think
Cindy
of
Adams and Judge
I know,
Judy.
isn't that
can't-
hilarious?
Oh my
I
goodness.
can't think of a worse time.
Had the best time. Cindy.
First of all,
who I
Cindy
adore.
Adams, for
I
those of you who
adore.
don't know, is a gossip columnist. So she's about 1,000. She's 1,000 years older than Joan.
Cindy is my good. I know her forever. She's my first interview when I got famous. Or whatever you
Yeah.
call it.
Joan, how does she have all this money?
I think she invests. She's a brilliant businesswoman. Brilliant.
But what does that mean, brilliant businesswoman?
I think she. Remember, she was married to Joey Adams.
Joey Adams said he was not a big deal comic,
No, but
was
he made good money.
He did?
He made good money.
What is good money back then?
I don't know, but he
okay.
always worked.
Right.
He was like Freddie Roman. He did
He worked constantly.
constantly.
Okay.
And I think she and he together knew a lot of people on Wall Street, and they took anything she made. I'm just assuming that.
Right.
And they invested brilliantly.
Is she a very wealthy woman?
Yeah.
She is?
Yeah. And very generous. Very generous.
What does that mean, very generous?
Very generous with charities, very generous to her friends.
And you and
Very generous
Judge
of-
Judy,
Is her best friend.
and she's a top macher, that Judge Judy.
Yeah, and-
She doesn't shut up, right?
She's great.
Yeah,
And
you
so-
like her.
I went to Williamsburg, Virginia at Christmas time, which everyone should run, not walk to.
Really?
Because you walk around, everyone is like the outfits. And
They were dressed up like.
They all dress
Like
up.
pilgrims, yeah,
And
the
you
whole
all
thing.
walk around and you all eat cornbread. It's
Are any of you
fabulous.
married? Is Judge Judy married?
Yes.
she's married.
To Judge Jerry.
Judge Jerry.
And
But
you
he
and
didn't come.
and you and Cindy walk around looking for guys,
No, we three of us walked around, and you go back into history, and everyone plays the game.
right? That's fun.
It's fabulous.
You
And
like going back
It's
into
a whole
history?
town
A
of pretending
whole
you're in
town.
revolutionary times.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd rather kill myself.
I had the best
My mom,
time.
Cindy, and Judy.
Who's the richest? Judge Judy out
Oh,
of the
Judy,
three of you, right?
probably,
Because
yeah.
of the syndication
There's
of
no
that show.
question.
Didn't that
And
burn your ass?
Look at how hard
Yes,
you
it
work.
burns my ass because I never syndicated anything.
Right.
Never. Yes,
In
you
a
know.
sense, you blew it.
Yeah. I
Judge
totally
Judy's
blew it.
sitting there judging,
Yeah.
and she's probably worth 50 times what you're worth.
Probably 150.
150. You tell jokes, you do comedy, you're writing, you're
She
on the
doesn't
road.
write a thing. She
Yeah.
just tells people off.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Do you
Good
ever
work if you can get it.
Yeah.
Do you resent her?
No, I adore her.
You
it's
do.
not her fault.
Right.
She's terrific.
It's show business's fault.
It's somebody should have put me in a sitcom. I should have known Larry David.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
How about that, Joan?
Now, yeah, right. You needed a sitcom.
I need a sitcom.
Melissa, you were dating a guy before this porn king guy.
Yes.
And you went out with him for 3 years.
Almost, yeah.
Joan didn't like him.
Not particularly.
Yeah, do you ever
Does she
think,
make it known to you? Do you know?
I
How
was
could you
so
not?
nice.
She was very, but how could you not know?
Yeah.
Wait a
Even my
second.
mother being discreet about something isn't.
Why did your last relationship end?
My last, there was, he was.
The refrigerator emptied out.
Yeah, no, he was
I
living.
see.
He was living a second life.
Double
What was the second life?
No
Double
kidding.
life.
Double life. You mean he had another family?
No, not that far, but he was living with having a lot of relationships online.
Oh, online. Dad, do you consider that cheating?
It was to the extent that, in my opinion, it was.
In other words, he would have like online sex with these women?
Yes.
And how did you come to find out that your boyfriend was doing this?
Our computer was on a table, and I was cutting through, and I bumped into it, and the screen flashed, and I looked, and I thought, that's weird, and I pushed the mouse, and up came he'd forgotten to close a bunch of pages.
And
Wow.
so when you see this and he's like, "Oh baby, I want to fuck you."
As
He's
in
not
sex?
he's not meeting with these girls.
As I don't know, because it had come to light that one of the tabloids had purchased emails of him soliciting people.
Oh wow. Now that's the ultimate betrayal. I don't mean
Yeah.
to laugh. I was laughing because Joan was ready to chime in.
Yeah.
Joan, you're very upset about this.
No, I was very glad it was over. It was
But
certainly
it was
the drain.
incredibly painful for Cooper and for me.
I bet. I mean, Cooper got to know him for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
You probably thought maybe there was even a marriage. And, you know, who knows?
I was going through fertility treatments.
Oh, no kidding. You're going to have a kid.
Yep.
Why do you think he hung in? Like, if he was having these feelings, why not go to you and say, look, hey.
I think it was an ongoing thing.
In hindsight, it turned out it had been going on for quite some time. I learned about all these different websites like Ashley Madison that I didn't know about or what these things were, and apparently it had been going on for about a year and a half.
And when you confronted him, did he say, listen, I'm willing to stop everything?
No, I didn't even give him that opportunity. I was actually getting up to leave for work for Fashion Police, and it was 6 in the morning, and I was going to get something in the office. And that's when I found it, and I called him from work, and I said, I'm done. And then the next day, I started getting phone calls from tabloids saying, we've purchased these emails.
So you're here to
from
say...
Craigslist, from people solicited on Craigslist.
Are you here to say that Ashley Madison works? Because
I think
it sounds
it
like
does.
he was really meeting chicks.
And again,
one of our top sponsors.
Exactly. And then the irony of meeting Stephen.
Right.
But the interesting thing is this is all on Joan and Melissa.
It happened in the middle of...
Oh,
it
my
happened
goodness.
literally on a shoot day.
Wow.
So you're telling me when I watched the TV show...
It's in real time.
You on camera discover his videos, his dialogue on the computer, and then you pick up the phone and call him and break up with him.
Yes.
And you haven't seen him since.
No.
That's it.
That's
over.
it.
After
Done.
all that time.
Oh, I threw the computer over the balcony, the whole thing.
How do you explain this? How do you explain this to your son?
Are we being serious for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was incredibly painful for Cooper. I tried to turn it into a little bit of a lesson about internet safety.
Right.
Because we're at that. Well, because he's at that age.
Right.
Where they're all on YouTube and this and that, and I just said, people make mistakes and people do things that they regret, and people talk. There's bad people out there online.
Right.
And you have to be very careful what you do. And it was much easier explaining to Cooper what he did than why.
So, in other words, at some point you had to be very clear and say, listen, he was cheating on me with these girls.
I didn't go quite that far. I just said he was doing having inappropriate relationships with people online.
Do you let him say goodbye to Cooper?
Yes, I did.
You did?
They spoke on the phone once.
Joan,
that's right. And I made sure that Cooper always, I was very clear on, Cooper had his phone number, Cooper had his email, I never wanted Cooper to feel that I was cutting him off from his relationship with Jason.
Right.
And I made Cooper speak to him twice, even though he did not want to. And since then, I've let it be Cooper's decision, and Cooper has he has no desire to speak to
well,
him.
because he knows that he hurt his mother.
And Cooper and I are incredibly close. I share custody with my ex-husband, and Cooper and I are very, very close, because it's always been just me and Cooper, where my ex-husband's gotten married or remarried and divorced and had another child. It's really always been me and Coop.
Poor Joan is so jealous. She just wishes she could get some action somewhere.
Yeah, somebody be cheating on me.
I was when he met on Craigslist.
Now,
it
has
was
Coop,
such a
But I went crazy.
wouldn't that be wild if your mother was seeing your boyfriend on Craigslist?
A little creepy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Joan signed up for Craigslist.
Exactly.
Right. She immediately
Miles,
registered.
She's like, what were those websites?
Has Cooper met the porn guy, the porn king?
Very casually.
Right, because we can't go through this again.
No, I wouldn't allow it to happen. That's why I'm very careful that we really only see each other on my non-custodial days.
But he was with us in Mexico.
He came down to Mexico. We had separate rooms.
How do you put your...
We had separate rooms.
How do you put your...
A respectful porn king.
How do you have the discipline to put your child's needs ahead of your own? Honestly.
What do you mean, how do you have the discipline?
Because you could easily say, oh, fuck it, I want to be with my boyfriend. I'm falling in love with this guy. I want to hold on to him. I'm going to see him. I'm going to bring him into the house. You could do that. A lot of people do that.
A lot of people do
But
that.
you are actually putting all of your fears aside and saying, I got to protect my son, right?
Like maybe she's a decent person?
Thank you.
Are you a decent person? How is it possible that Joan Rivers' daughter would be a decent person?
I haven't met. He's doing the same thing with his children.
I see.
So we're both very.
Yeah, like you'd be a bad influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're the
Maybe
porn
he should
queen.
introduce you to his children.
She'd be a real slut to bring it out.
So, Joan, what does this mean? Listen, Joan, despite what you say, I know you're a wealthy woman. What do you mean Melissa is living on her own without any help from you? I don't believe it.
She owns a part of Shopperati, which is very successful.
What is Shopperati?
It's a website that my business partner and I created where we aggregate and curate all the top fashion deals of the day.
And that's a money-making operation?
Yes.
Shopperati?
Yep.
What do you mean, Joan?
Yeah.
What are you're carrying going on like you know?
Because she tells me.
And what is she making on Shopperati?
I have no idea.
You know.
She's got 2.5. She's doing fine. She's producing, what do you call it? Fashion Police.
Fashion Police.
Executive producing, which is going to an hour.
Right. You like doing that still? That's where you make
I
fun of
adore
the people, how they dress.
So much fun.
Fashion Police.
So much fun.
Right.
So much fun. And then we're doing Joan and Melissa.
Joan and Melissa, and then I have my website.
All right. Very good. What
It's
can I
okay.
tell
And
you?
we do personal appearances. I mean, you know how it is. But see, you're
We
so
do,
rich.
Yeah, we do
you
mother-daughter lectures.
Yeah, you don't have to go out on the road and like do personal
Right.
Talk to
appearances.
Indians.
I am going. I don't talk to Indians at
You don't
casinos.
have,
Poor Joan
you
is
don't have
talking
to.
to Indians, Howard.
Yeah, you don't have to go do promotional things in malls that they pay you for because you've got so much money. You own this building.
Listen, I don't own the building.
You do. You own a good portion of the building.
I don't own the building. I'm not as rich as you think I am. Look, I had to take a second job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
That's right. I have to now go out to that California and work.
Yeah, we'll have dinner.
Oh,
one
that's
night.
right. The new
Right.
show.
I know a lovely room that I could get for you. Melissa.
You can get Melissa's.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
will
stay at
I can
Melissa's.
sublet.
And by the way, even when I was desperate, I never had to go into a teepee to make money. Like Joan. Just remember that. Well, I am pleased to see that Joan and Melissa, a lot of people said it would not go into a second season.
No.
Everyone said it.
No one said it.
no one said it.
I said it.
Oh, all right.
No. Everyone thought it would never last, but it has.
You know what I want to ask about
We got
Chelsea
great reviews.
Handler yesterday. Do you have a problem with Chelsea?
Chelsea Handler gave it to you, Joan, yesterday.
I don't even know who she is. Exactly. You know when people, I don't know who she is.
You want to hear what she said or no?
Yeah.
All right,
Love
I'll play
to.
it. I'll give you the short version, 59 seconds. Listen to this. But Joan Rivers was critical of you at one point, wasn't she?
Well, Joan Rivers. I mean, what the fuck do I care about Joan Rivers?
You don't care. It doesn't bother you. It does
No,
bother you.
I saw Joan Rivers the other day at E, and she said, "Hi, her and that daughter,
Melissa. Yeah.
And
You don't like Melissa?
no, I mean, I don't not like her. I mean,
Right.
but I don't think about either one of them ever. So the fact that Joan Rivers, she got up and made this speech. We were at a Comcast event, and they're giving me Conan's old stage at Universal.
Right.
They're giving me this huge stage, and so they announced that. They make this announcement at this Critics Association, and Joan Rivers gets up and she's like, "Well, I would like to thank Chelsea Handler for giving me a career in comedy." And then says, and then she goes, and congratulations on your stage, Chelsea. She goes, because I don't even have a dressing room. And I'm like, fuck off. It's not my fault you don't have a stage of your own. That's your problem.
Yeah, why is it related to you?
Why are you? I mean, she was trying to be funny in the most innocuous way without being, but I could tell, oh, this is a woman. And she has said, I've heard she said things about me. I don't remember what they are, but yeah.
First of all,
never said anything
First of all, you see how I stood up for you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I was at that luncheon. It's not quite how it went
Let
down.
me tell you,
Right.
number
Doesn't
one.
seem like so bad.
The
what you
girl
said.
It
made
wasn't.
it
It
on
was-
her back, fucking the president. We all know that of the network. Number two.
Oh my God, you
she
promised
is
you were
very-
not gonna
no,
say
no.
that.
Too bad. No, she started out.
Wait, maybe
Seriously.
somebody missed it. What did you just say, John?
It doesn't matter. We all know how she got there. Number two, she's fine. She's ordinary. She's not a genius. She's an ordinary girl that she was fucking somebody high up in the industry, and they gave her a break, and she's doing okay. I went over very nicely.
Joan, why don't you fuck someone high up in the industry? for
Because
God's
nobody
sake?
wanted me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went over to this thing that we had, and I went into the room and went right over to her and said, exactly, hello. She obviously has no manners. I don't know where she comes from.
Jersey.
But I walk over and say, hello, nice to see you. You say, ignored me.
Oh.
Wow.
That's number one. Who the fuck do you think you are? That's number one. Number two, she gets up and they say, Chelsea broke into late night for women. Chelsea has started for women.
No, they said she gives so many young comedians their breaks.
Their breaks.
Right.
And also a lot about women in late night. So I walked up with a joke. I said, and I want to thank Chelsea for giving me my break.
That's
a
funny.
joke. But she doesn't have no jokes because she's not that clever.
Right.
So that was number one. And number two, I thought it was very funny. And I said, we're really the same up here.
Right.
You get the big studio. I don't even have a dressing room.
Right.
That's funny. We got laughs.
Right.
So whatever she is, she's a drunk. She has her own show. I don't wish her good luck. I don't wish her bad luck. And she used to do jokes about Melissa and me before we... mean jokes, you know what I'm saying, for no reason, when she was first starting. Go fuck yourself in a pool. And as my mother said, in a teacup of water.
Right.
I didn't say the first part. I said,
Why
go
would you
drown
fuck yourself in a teacup of water? I don't understand.
In other words,
What was with your mother?
go drown yourself in a teacup of water. I don't care. I don't think she's particularly funny. We all know how she got what she got. She's doing okay. Good.
You're referring to the fact that she was dating Ted Harbor.
Dating?
Well, but she was living with Ted Harbor.
Yeah,
You're
whatever.
Right.
Good. I don't care. But don't you come after me, you whore. Don't start.
And
with
needless to
me.
say, when we discussed this morning what we were going to say if this was going to come up, is not
because
what
I
we
didn't
really
know what she-
discussed.
I
What
didn't
your
know
mom said, you know what? I'm not going
She's
to act
gonna
like it
take
doesn't
the
bother
high
me.
road.
Did I walk in and put my hand out and say hi?
Yes,
First
that's what I'm
time-
saying. I just said I think
Really?
the main problem is that in all the times we have ever crossed paths with Chelsea, Chelsea has never come over to my mother and introduced herself and said, "How do you do? Nice to meet you. I'm Chelsea."
Right.
Which
And-
she should do.
Right.
You know-
Because after all, Joan is a legend.
She wouldn't
honestly.
be there without me.
Right.
And
You know-
I never say this.
And I think that sort of was what started it. My mom's like, "We work at the same network, and you're not going to even come over and say hello to me."
Passes me in the hall.
And this has been for quite a few years now.
That's not nice.
No, and that's just bad manners in general.
Well, so your mother and you had a discussion, Melissa. They
This
said,
morning.
Hey, listen,
She
you
begged me.
had a little. You sat down and you said, "Mom,
Just let it go.
don't even give." You probably said, "I'm guessing, if Chelsea Handler comes up, act like you don't even care."
I said, just explain that she's never. That I think the main problem is why you feel slightly negatively towards her is that she's never done the correct thing to come over and say hello.
Right.
And then when she had the opportunity a few weeks ago at this particular event, she literally made a point of not saying hello.
That's a very uncomfortable thing when you walk into a room and people are not saying hello to one another.
Yeah,
I
and
walked
especially when the
over.
president of the network is there.
All right.
And I walked over, which she should have come to me just age-wise.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's
I
just,
walked over to her and said, hi.
and
and
I
my
said
hand
hi
went
and
out.
didn't acknowledge me. I'm like, hey, and didn't acknowledge me. And
Wow.
Oh boy.
yet
I tell
I'm
you.
talking to
So
her
let's-
producer, and her producer's talking to my producer, and all the writers are like, we're all talking, and she's talking to Kelly Osbourne, who's sitting right next to me.
Right.
And
Ignoring
Kelly's
you.
kicking me under the table.
Wow.
So, you know,
I
this
love
is
it.
Who
nonsense.
knew this was going on?
I
at
love
E?
it.
Yeah, this is such
And
stupidity.
then, but what
Right.
shocks me is what you said was very funny in the room.
You know why she's angry? I got the laughs.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, who always gets the laugh? Joan Rivers.
You're damn right.
Damn right. Listen, Joan. I don't know what's going on with you living in Melissa's house. I don't know what's
I think it's
happening.
lovely.
Watch and find out.
But
Are you going to be renting a room now?
yes, I am. I'm coming out to see
The
you.
3 days that Joan is not,
Not there. You
I'll
can
shack
take,
up in Joan's room. Don't
There you
worry
go.
about it. Joan needs me.
Do you need a lot of closet space?
No,
Okay,
closet.
perfect. I'll
Listen,
put up another clothing rack next to the treadmill.
What outfits do I have? Listen, you've got to see Joan and Melissa Rivers on Joan and Melissa. Joan knows best.
And truly great reviews.
So this is what I'm talking about.
Life is good.
Life is good, and you're still going strong, and you're going to be up speaking to the Indians soon over at the casino.
I love those casinos.
You're damn right you do. It's a lot of fun.
And if you do well, they give you a blanket. I'm not making a joke. I get these great blankets from these.
Do they really send blankets?
At the end, if they love you, like the chief comes up to you and they give you a gift backstage.
The chief gives it to you.
Yeah,
And wampum they give you, right?
No, well, my agent doesn't take wampum.
No, he doesn't. Thank God. Listen, you should do what the natives, remember the Pilgrims? When the Indians would give them a blanket, we gave them smallpox. So you should give the chief
Give it
smallpox. That's
to
right.
Chelsea.
That's it. And what happened? You were negative about Tracy Morgan recently.
No, it wasn't.
No? You're okay with him? You're always in a feud. Like
life
me.
is good.
That's right. Conan O'Brien, I know you don't like.
I don't
Oh,
like
really?
You said he's arrogant. Is he arrogant?
He's arrogant.
What happened? He had a run-in with him?
No, he's just very arrogant. He just thinks he went to Harvard and the whole world is impressed. You know, you want to say we all went to Ivy League college.
You went to an Ivy League
And that's what I'm
college.
saying. We all went to Ivy League college.
We all went.
Calm down. I hate people that think they're superior. I'm not kidding. I'm so sick of you meet these people and you say, you're lucky. Get on your knees and be what's his name? Tebow.
Yeah.
Tebowing. Yes.
You like
Tebow.
Tebow.
I love
What
just-
about Melissa and Tebow?
No.
No?
The Kardashians have that covered.
They got the sports world covered.
Yeah, they got the sports world covered.
But Conan,
we got to go to porno.
in other words, there are a lot of young comedy writers and comedians who will come out of Harvard and you feel they act superior.
No, I feel that like you'll bump in some of the housewives,
Right.
you know, and they carry on like they're stars, and you want to say, calm down.
Yeah.
You're a girl with big fat lips, you know,
And no one's gonna remember you.
extensions, and you're having a moment. Enjoy it.
Right.
Don't yell at the waiter.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't yell at the waiter.
You got so much class, Joan.
Yeah.
Well, look, Joan knows everything about show business.
Is she seeing Cher still, or is that
Yes.
really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the bathroom. They have
I
dinner.
love Cher.
When's the last time you saw Cher?
About 7 months ago.
She ever bring up my name? No?
All the time.
Always talks about me.
Your picture is over the bed.
And you go into the bathroom and eat dinner there, right?
We go into her bedroom.
So weird. No, the bathroom, you told me. That's where they eat.
No, they don't eat in her bathroom.
Everything goes on in her bathroom. Like she entertains in her bathroom.
Maybe Kathy Griffin told you that.
No, you've told me that too.
I think it's a big bedroom, bathroom, suite.
You know,
Isn't that weird?
Do you like how I
great.
translate for her now?
Yeah.
She lives like a movie star. Big
Right.
house overlooking the Pacific.
How's she look?
Fabulous.
The body?
Fabulous.
Tight?
Well, I never poked it.
And Chaz? She bring up Chaz to you in private?
No.
No one. She's not talking
She
to
doesn't
anyone.
mention Cher.
No, we don't talk about it.
I had Chaz on the show. He was lovely.
He was lovely.
Yes, yes.
You know he's going to get the penis now. Did you read that?
No,
Yes.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's going to stretch his clitoris into a. What about Chaz and Melissa? Once he becomes full. What do you mean?
Oh, wait a second.
What are you talking about?
I'm very happy in my relationship as it is.
That one's not lasting.
Why
Melissa.
not?
Because he's a porn guy. It's not going to happen.
He's a nice Jewish boy that happens to be.
How long
so-
was his last relationship?
Right.
10 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
12
good.
years.
Okay.
Well, and why not Chaz? Because he's not Jewish?
He's
Is
not
that it?
Jewish.
Is
Not
Joan-
Jewish.
Just not my type.
You think he'll get a circumcised penis?
Of course. He doesn't. He doesn't want to get disease. But he's even talking about getting balls, testicles, where they're
I
fake.
could send my dogs.
Right, but they're fake, but they're going to look
Yeah,
real.
but that's, if you want that, why not? Get
Right,
it.
sure.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Makes you happy?
Right.
Get it.
And he seems happy.
He seems very happy, and that's great. And all
Right.
you want, you have your children, is you're as happy as your least happy child.
But all the reports I read say Cher is upset. Cher can't deal with it. What
well,
is it?
I think it would be a little difficult if one of your daughters came to you and wanted to have a penis and balls.
I always wanted a son. All right, listen, we could enter it up all day, but unfortunately, we have to move on. I have to be professional.
I love you so much.
I love you too, Melissa. Love you,
Love
and
you.
It's great. And I am considering becoming a woman. I didn't want to say that. That's right.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
then
right.
maybe you should donate to Chaz.
I'll give him my penis. I guarantee you his clitoris is longer than my penis. And I'm not kidding.
Joan, Chelsea has unleashed the wrath of Joan.
Yes, she has.
Yes, but I don't understand why she. I tried to be nice. I tried to be professional, and I don't know who this upstart girl is, and whoever she is, go to hell. I couldn't care less.
It's
Next.
not just about showbiz respect. It's about common courtesy.
It's
you see.
about common courtesy to an older woman, of someone who has started the industry, someone who broke nighttime barrier, and you walk over and you say hi, and as every other comedian comes up to me and
Also,
says,
it's basically, it crosses into just common courtesy.
common courtesy, common courtesy.
If you see someone in a restaurant, I get up and say hello. I don't expect them to come over to me.
Right.
If I
Right.
see one of my mom's friends, I get up and go over. You say, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. It's just common courtesy.
And it doesn't matter. We should all live and continue to live.
Melissa, this wasn't the plan, though, going into the
No,
interview?
this was not the plan going into the interview. But nothing in our life goes according to plan.
Well, plus, once you're hearing the actual words come out of Chelsea's mouth, it's a little more difficult to...
Yes,
To
absolutely.
zip your... Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure I'll be getting a call from the network today.
Joan, who are some of the young female comedians who do give proper respect and do to you?
I don't even expect proper respect and due. But the ones I think, obviously, Kathy, is
Sarah.
Sarah Silverman, genius.
Whitney.
is incredible. And there's Lynn Complitz, who is just starting to break through now, is so good. And there are a lot that are just coming up again. It's always somebody good around. There's always somebody funny and fresh.
So they're not all Chelseas out there.
No, and again, I don't want to make this into a bigger feud than it is, because I can't waste my time on negative.
Well, it was a very positive interview other than that.
Yes.
Good to see you both again.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Richard Simmons.
Oh my God.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah! Hi.
You look phenomenal, sir.
Oh, thanks. Let me see if my picture's here. Let me see. No, not there. Wait. No, not here. Hi.
You look amazing. Hi, I'm Lisa. Nice to see you. Oh, that's a nice hug.
How are you doing?
Good. You look fantastic.
Oh, wow. I was looking for my picture. Let me see. No. My picture's not here. Well, that's not my picture.
You don't want to be in that picture.
In other words, there's no photo of me. Nowhere.
Well, it has been a long time since your last appearance.
Well, kind of hurts, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do this show.
Oh, Mr. Simmons, please.
Richard! I'm looking for my photo. I don't...
Maybe in one of the green rooms?
Look at this pretty one of Robin.
It is nice.
Holy crap!
How the hell did you do? Jesus Christ. I've never seen you so skinny.
Let me see you.
I've never seen you so skinny.
Oh, let me see. You look really good.
You look. I read it in the notes. I think
Just a minute.
You're 135 pounds.
Just a minute. Let me just hug you for a second. Two hearts that beat as one. You have any pictures of the family?
Yeah. Come on in. Good to see you, Richard.
Wow.
You look great.
You have a beautiful body and a lovely tuchus. Look at your tuchus.
Thanks. Squats.
The squats do it, doesn't it? Hi.
How's it going?
How are you?
Sit down for a second. Sit down.
Sit where?
In the green room. Right in here.
Oh.
We need you to sign a couple of releases.
I was just going to look for my photos again. Let me see.
Sounds like who's judging because this is going to be
Well, that's not me.
Anything different on you doing? I'm not in this business.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
What is this? This is so cute, this little outfit.
You like that?
Well,
Hi, Richard.
hi.
How you doing?
How are you?
How you been? Good to see you.
Oh.
Oh.
This is from Craig, though.
Oh. Thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
Good?
Really good. How are
What's
you?
new?
Let's do it.
You know, we're still here. Nothing new. It's a Howard Stern show.
It's the Howard Stern Show.
Hello.
Can I talk to Howard?
No.
There's B.
He can't hear this.
He can't hear this.
Everybody do the ack.
He can't hear me at all? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you? Papa, can you hear me? Howard, can you hear me?
Now you're talking town.
He can't.
Good job,
No,
Craig.
huh?
Christopher.
Do you think we should call the health department?
Yes.
I mean, this does not look good. Look at this. It needs to be dusted. Well, you need to just hose this area off.
There's a lot of stuff here.
That's right.
I'm sexy and I know it. Hi. What do you do here?
I am Scott's intern.
Oh, are you? Is it fun?
It's awesome.
Yeah? Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Nice to see you.
Very well, thank you.
What do you do here?
I am Howard's executive producer for the TV channel.
You're not.
That's what we're shooting.
Wow. The executive producer.
Isn't that
And what do you do?
I'm an intern for Howard Stern.
Are you excited?
Just getting a little nervous.
Okay, when you got the job, did you tell your family?
Yeah, I told my family.
So how did you break it to them?
It's going to be the greatest.
I called them up and I said I'm interning for Howard Stern, and they said we're proud of you, good job.
Oh, and how long have you been here?
About 2 weeks.
You like it?
Yeah, it's great.
And they're good to you?
Everyone's really nice.
Do they treat you to lunch and stuff like that?
Are you interrogating my interns?
No, I asked him how he broke it to his family.
What's that? I need to get him to sign. Richard, you need to sign him. I need you to sign him.
No. Mama, no. Mama, I don't want to go to the prom. Carrie, go to your room. You're not going to the prom. Just a minute. Just a minute. Did you miss me?
I did.
How long has it been?
Well, we've been on the air for 6 years, and I know you've been here once. You came in the first year, but I think you were here once after that, so I'm going to say it's probably been about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. Norman Bates. I love that name.
And just you have to just initial the front right there. Just
What?
Well, so that both sides are signed.
Could I get a glass of water?
I could have a whole water. How's that? Here, take this.
Well, here's your pen. Are you the only one that like dresses like this?
Well, when we go in and give the news to Howard, he makes us wear these blazers. These are Howard 100 News blazers.
I see.
You like these?
You know what? It's a classy look.
It's a look, right?
It's a good color.
Okay.
You know, we're all look. We're pretty good here.
Mm-hmm. Looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Howard makes us wear them.
Richard?
Does he make you wear a tie too? There's Robin. Hi, Robin. Hi.
She can't hear you. It doesn't bother me.
You can't right now? Can I say something?
You can't talk to them.
Why?
We're in a different studio. They're in there.
Well, you can't hook me up so I can just say, hi, Howard.
You can do it from my office in a minute, but come on.
No, really?
I'll show you some pictures.
You can do it from
Okay. Hello. How are you? What is your name?
Rob Martin.
Hi, Rob. Gary, here's your pen. Executive producer. Hello, I'm the executive producer.
Why don't I take a break and then we'll get to Richard Simmons.
Oh my God, it's like
We'll
a bar
talk to him.
mitzvah.
He is here.
Look at all the people.
We'll sit, we'll talk, we'll find out what the hell's going on with him.
Yeah, Richard's here, Howard.
That's what I just said. I'm going to take a little
All of
break. Here, I'll start the
Why
break
do you
right
get to
here. I'm
meet
going to
them?
do a little commercial. What am I talking about, Fred?
Oh, go back to Steven Singer.
What do you mean? Are you eating? Am I interrupting?
Yeah, you just caught me
Oh,
by
I'm so
surprise.
sorry.
Howard, it's me.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Richard. Richard, I love your outfit.
Hi, Robin, it's me.
Good morning.
Richard, by the way, that outfit you're wearing is fabulous because I was going to talk to you about that. I always see you in short shorts and a tank top, and you've changed. You've lost weight. You've gotten thinner. He happens to look good. And the green and orange match perfectly.
Yeah, what
This
a
is
color
item number
combination.
1179 from QVC. It comes in extra small to 4XL, and right now your payment of 2 payments of $19.99.
Is that true that you're selling that outfit on QVC?
I sell these, yeah.
You do? All right.
Is it on FlexPay?
It's on Easy Pay, Robin.
Easy Pay.
Easy Pay.
Why can't I go in the studio now?
Because I'll do it.
What kind of break?
Richard, let me.
Now we'd like to play some of our very favorite commercials on the Howard Stern Show.
And Richard, I'll do a commercial break, then I'll give you a proper introduction.
Okay, I don't need it. I just can't wait to hug you.
Well, I can't wait to interview you and find out what you've been doing.
Okay.
All right.
And now some commercials from the Howard Stern Show on Sirius.
And by the way, keep your hands off Lisa G. She's not for you.
Hey, Howard, he walked in and he goes, ooh, who are you? You have a skinny body and a nice tuchus.
Introduce Richard to Lisa, see if we can't
Lovely.
make...
She's a very lovely lady.
Introduce Richard to Lisa and see if we can't get something going between those two.
She's not Lisa.
Richard?
And now some commercials on the Howard Stern Show with Robin on Sirius FM.
Richard,
What?
during the commercial, if you're nice to Lisa, maybe you'll get a date. Go ahead.
No,
Go.
I think there's a lot of guys interested in Lisa.
Well, there are, but you could get her.
Do you have a boyfriend, Lisa? No. Come on. Were you ever married?
No.
No.
But we can work out together.
Okay.
Well, go on a
And
date.
now some commercials.
All right,
on
okay.
Howard Stern
We'll
on
find out what's going on.
Sirius.
That's right. Thank you, Richard. Now, what was I talking about, Fred?
Steven Singer.
Steven Singer. I don't know why he's not going after Lisa G. I don't understand.
I didn't think he wanted to go after her on camera.
He's promoting this bill that they're trying to push through Congress, the Fit Kids bill. He was pushing it when he was here last time in 2008, so doesn't seem to be picking up much traction. He had to issue a statement after he appeared on Dancing with the Stars, like he was training Chaz, and he looked really gaunt, so he had to say that he was healthy. Right. He works out every day. He doesn't like shows like The Biggest Loser and Celebrity Fit Club because they kind of just glorify quick weight loss.
Jack LaLanne, right?
Big Jack LaLanne fan. Next page. He's had 4 hair transplants, 3,500 hair follicles, which I understand is painful. That's it.
Okay, good. I got it. He's sitting very close to Gary right now, holding on to his arm in his office.
Everything good? Yes. You really look fucking great, Richard. It's so great I have to curse when I say it.
I'll be 64 this year.
Really? Anything else to drink?
I'm a little excited, guys. Huh?
You're excited. Great. I'm excited.
Can you call back after?
I'm excited. Did you meet Richard and Sal?
Richard, how are you? We absolutely adore you.
Big fan.
Good. Great to see you.
What do you all do?
This is what we do. Prank calls. We make prank calls.
Oh, can we do
song
this?
parodies? Would you like to sing something?
You know what? I think we should call some people today.
Okay.
Yeah, we would definitely be up for
we'll
that.
make some prank calls.
Remember that one thing, the prank call I made years ago, and he still plays, where I called this man and I said, I'm your daughter. Do you remember that?
We did that. We did that.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Can we
we
do
did,
it?
yeah.
Let's do something today. I'm so excited.
We did that from your audio
But you know,
book.
a lot of people still email me about that one thing.
Yeah,
I'm your daughter.
Yeah.
I don't have a daughter.
Did you hear the one when you called for Gary? We called somebody by the name of Gary because you kept calling for Gary.
You were yelling for Gary one day here.
Gary! And we called somebody named Gary, and it was a brilliant phone call. We just did that one recently.
Well, can we do something today?
Yeah,
How do I get permission?
Oh, no, we'll take care of it.
Just talk to Gary. Maybe after,
Gary?
Yes.
Can we do a prank call on the air?
On the air? I don't know.
Not on the air, but you should come back and do one with them afterwards. They call people. You call like a pizza
You know
place
what,
and
Richard?
stuff.
I think today,
Because they have to be edited.
at 9 o'clock, there's a tradio.
Yeah,
we
can
call it a swap shop.
We call these
Maybe you
shows
could sell
that
your.
stuff.
You could actually sell.
I think
promote your product.
I think
Can
I'm
you
a
sell
little
your product?
disappointed. 'cause
No,
I don't do
Richard.
it on the
How about
air.
if you sold your products?
Now I
on
feel
swap?
rejected.
Richard, we don't do any phone calls live on the radio.
We can sell
'Cause they
his
need to be
product.
edited. Otherwise, you don't do a phony phone call.
But why not start something new today?
Sing it, Richard.
So do you all make good money?
Okay, look, we're back. Richard Simmons is here. It's been, I don't know how long it's been.
Don't call me poor.
Richard can probably tell us. He's been counting the days.
Yeah.
I feel it's been a very long time since I've seen Richard Simmons. And there's a dramatic weight loss going on in his life. He weighs 135 pounds, I'm told. That, in fact, he had, when he was on Dancing with the Stars training Chaz Bono, people were alarmed how thin he had gotten.
Really?
And he had to actually go on TV and... Wow.
There's no music he'll provide his own.
What's up, my friend?
Oh my God! How are you doing?
Doing all right, man?
Don't hug me.
Hi. Come here.
Richard, don't hug me.
You're going to be
How are
like
you doing?
Letterman and say, don't hug me?
Well, because he hugs hard and I don't like it.
Nah, he was
Don't
very
come
gentle.
in here. No. You have
Come,
to sit.
sit down. Sit down.
We
No one
want to
cares.
talk to you.
No, Richard, no one can hear that. Oh. Richard,
Hello,
come on.
Richard.
You're being silly. Sit down. Come on. I want to talk to you.
He's
No.
coming.
Do we have to shake? Okay. I love you. I love you. Sit down.
Wait a
Relax.
minute, let me just look
Let's
at you.
do
I
an
haven't seen you
interview.
in a couple years. Let me look at you.
But let me do an interview with you.
Okay.
Sit down. Everyone wants to hear from you. Where's my
Have a
PRO?
seat, Richard.
All right.
Let's talk to you.
You have to.
But I just want to talk to Howard for a second.
Yeah, but no, those have a microphone in them. Richard, no one can hear you.
ridiculous.
Richard, if you...
I love you, and I have missed you. I am so excited. You got this new gig. Are you excited?
Did he hear about your hearing problem?
God.
You must have heard I have a hearing loss because you're yelling.
Oh.
I detected the other day. I was on. I was doing some work with a camera.
Where is the microphone?
It's in.
Oh, it's like a Madonna microphone.
Yes.
Yeah, put it on,
Have you
please.
heard her new song, Masterpiece?
No, I'm not a fan. All right. Hey, you look tremendous. Even for you, this is the thinnest I think I've seen you in your entire life since
This
I
was
know
my
you.
weight of General Hospital, 1979.
Someone told me you now weigh 135 pounds.
Yes.
Is this the ideal weight for you?
This is the perfect weight for my height and my bone frame.
And how did you do it? In the sense that normally they say as you get older, it is more difficult to lose
Yes.
weight.
But as you get older, you can put on a lot of weight
Yes.
and be inactive.
Right.
And I'll be 64 years old this year.
Fabulous.
And I just always...
How many times is that?
Yeah. Weren't you 64 5 years ago? No, he's 64. He doesn't lie.
He doesn't lie about
But
his
go
age.
ahead.
I know that.
Yeah.
And
And what did you... Because I'll tell you how I've been feeling lately. I've put on like maybe 5 extra pounds. Now, I don't have a huge weight issue. But I feel like I want to lose a couple. But I can't stand running anymore. I feel... I have this thought that if I just cut my portions down and do a little weight training, maybe I'll be happier.
Yeah, I cut 400 calories a day.
Yeah.
And I went from 45 minutes of a workout to an hour and 20 minutes.
And in the hour and 20 minutes, how much of that is just working out with weights?
30.
And the rest is what?
See, I've never had like a body like this.
Oh, you look good. You don't have to take your clothes
No,
off.
but I just want to show you. I never had
You have-
definition like
wow,
this.
yeah.
And it's very important for me to be a good example.
Right.
Because right now, the major thing, and I was really in tears this morning because some new evidence came out and about how many obese children in America.
It's alarming.
And in the next 5 years, 1 out of 4 children will be obese.
I admire you because for as long as I've known you, and I've told you this before, but I'm going to say it again, I believe what you do is very good. I'm talking about good advice.
But is he really successful? Because
Yes, he
everybody's
is.
been getting bigger while Richard's been talking about this.
Well, look, it's a one-man battle.
You know what? Eating is emotional, Robin, and
Yes.
you know this. And when you lose your job, when you lose your home,
right,
you go for food. The $1 menus. Do you know what I'm saying?
Why is your hand shaking?
I'm just a little nervous.
Why are you nervous around me? What have I done?
I don't know, because I haven't been here in 3 years, and I get a little nervous.
I've never seen your hand shake
Well,
before.
I'm a little nervous.
Is it nerves, or is there a Parkinson's, or something?
Oh, my God, no.
Nothing bad is going on, right?
You know what? We don't talk.
Right.
You made fun of me the last time.
Right.
Going to your house and all that.
I did.
And so.
Oh dear.
It's very nervous for me to come here sometimes,
Okay.
Howard. I have
just
to
wanna make sure
be
you-
honest with you.
All right, please relax. I want you. You're in my
Yeah,
house.
don't point out anything.
Yeah, the fans love you. Everyone loves you. You don't.
And I
have
got so many wonderful emails from people who knew I was coming today, and they said really nice things.
People love you.
Well, I just still get nervous, Howard. Cause
You're in a safe
Because
space.
it's like, for some reason, I just don't think that we're friends anymore. And
Well, you cut me out.
I've never met your new beautiful wife, and
I know you cut me
you
out.
haven't been around.
How can I introduce you?
I
You
mean,
cut me out.
I've been traveling 200 days a year,
Are these
teaching
real
classes.
Is this real emotion, or are you? Because sometimes it's funny with you.
You think
I never
he
know
has
the real you.
Showbiz tears.
I've never had a moment alone with you where I feel you've been real with me.
What about at your house?
I feel
What
you
about some
always
of the
are
ti-
on. Honestly, I'm being serious now. It's hard to be friends with you because you're always on. You've never come to me and said, I'm dropping the Richard Simmons persona.
But this
I
is
want-
really, you know me, Howard. How many years have I done this show?
But isn't
Seriously.
it impossible to keep this kind of energy all? I never bought it. I mean, I know that on camera you have to be high energy. You're motivating people.
But this is me. You've known me for 1/3 of my life.
But
I've
when
been
you would
doing
come
your
to the
show-
house, you would throw cucumbers into the pool and then you'd squeeze everyone
Well,
hard.
I
it was like, where's the real Richard?
Well, I always like to be humorous, and I always like to make people laugh, whether
But why?
they're laughing.
Why do you? I'm going to
because
be
it's
serious
important.
with you. Why do you think you always? I'm being serious. Why do you always think you have to be the comedian? Why do you always have to be on? Can't it just
Because
be a
that's
time
how
where you
I've
enjoy
been,
yourself?
But that's how I've been since a kid.
But I feel like you're not enjoying yourself when you're private with me.
I love my life.
You don't have to put it on.
No, I love my life.
But you feel the urge to always be the center of attention. And I know that urge. Believe me, I'm an entertainer.
But I think it's because I was obese as a kid. I didn't feel accepted, and I thought I had to have a bigger-than-life persona.
You were beaten with a
against
bat
these
when you were a
kids.
kid, weren't you?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you know that.
I did
Part of
not
the
know
Richard
that.
Simmons history was who beat you with a bat when you were a kid, honestly. If we can get into it a little bit, if it's not too painful for you. Who beat you?
Just a guy in school who
A
made fun of me.
classmate?
Made fun of me every day and told me I was a piece of garbage and I was a fat pig.
And
you don't forget those things, Howard. And so,
do you remember his name? Not that I want you to say it here, but do you remember his name?
Sure.
Did you ever confront him as an adult and say, "Why did you do that to me"?
No, I confronted him when I was a kid and took the baseball bat out of his hand.
Did you hit him
Told
with it?
No, that's not me.
Okay.
And I told him that I didn't appreciate what he did, and I didn't appreciate him making fun of me. And I have to tell you, 30 years later, Howard, I was in New Orleans, and I was at a department store shopping with my mother.
Right.
And this man came up to me, and he said, "Do you remember me?" And it was this boy with the bat.
Is that true?
True. And he says, "My wife is 250 pounds, and I'm wondering if you could call her for me."
Now, what do you do?
And I called her.
You did?
Yeah, and I sent her.
Big of you.
I sent her some videos. I'm forgiving.
Are you really forgiving, or is it,
Yes.
again, you're just trying to earn,
Wha-
accept?
wha-
Like,
wha-
why would it have been so bad to say to him, you asked me for a favor, you beat me with a bat?
No, that's
you
not how-
motherfucker.
that's not me.
You know, what
No,
is wrong with getting angry about that?
I'm not an angry person. I'm a forgiving person,
And, and part of me thought, like, you ran into him, and he walked up to you, and he said, my wife's 250 pounds, and he started hitting you with a bat again. I mean, that could have gone horribly, too. Imagine that. But, Richard, when this guy beats you with a bat, maybe this is good for people to know, you took the bat out of his hands. Don't normally, 9 times out of 10, that ends badly, because then the guy says, now I'm going to beat the shit out of you even more.
Well, I got his eye contact, and I told him that he hurt me.
And he responded to that?
And I had never, ever hurt him before. And I asked him to please leave me alone and just accept me like all the other kids in school.
And that worked?
It worked. It worked. I think honesty a lot works. I think, in 2012, we have so many bullies out there.
That speech worked. How old were you, 14 at that time? Or how old were you?
No, I was in 7th grade.
And that worked?
That worked.
I have certainly been in my share of fights. People were very cruel.
And what did you do?
I got the shit beaten out of me.
Okay, what did you do to them?
What did I do to them? I fought back.
You did?
I punched their fucking ass in.
Well, I'm not a fighter.
I'm not either, but what was I going to do? It was a matter of survival. I'm talking about people trying to kill me. So I had to fight.
Really?
Yeah, you either fought or you died.
Oh.
I mean,
it was sort of like a prison situation for him.
I grew up in a prison.
No, I just always try to forgive everybody.
I tried a speech. You know what they did to me? I gave the same speech you did. They lit me on fire.
They did.
I said, I looked the guy in the eye. I said, "Why? I've never done anything to you." He said, "Here, come here." I thought he was going to apologize. He took a match and threw me on me and lit me on fire. That's why my face is like this. I'm a burn victim.
Howard.
Did you get more hair transplants?
No.
How many have you had?
1,900.
No, seriously, how many have you had?
1,900.
Yeah, I know you're open about this stuff. That's why I asked
1,900.
You've always been honest about it.
Well, I lost 137 pounds
and you went
when I starved.
Why is hair
And I
important
lost.
to you? You don't care about that. Are you very vain, you think?
Well, I mean, I like to sort of look nice.
Right.
I mean, I'm teaching. I go out all over the country. Last year I taught in New Zealand and Paris.
Is it painful, the operation?
Well, I haven't had it done in years and years and years.
Right.
But it is painful.
You look good.
Thank you.
Like,
I feel good.
I would think that this is a major accomplishment with you.
Well, you know what? I want to be a good example for people, and I want people to go from decade to decade taking better care of themselves. Our children are obese. We have obese teens. We have obese young adults, seniors, and we have to do something about it.
Do you agree with me that companies, like soda companies and stuff, should be the same way drugs are against the law? Shouldn't soda and all that stuff be against the law? I mean, these guys walk around like they're American companies. They're helping America. It's sugar water. Am I right?
Yes. But, everything in moderation. Once in a while, when I want a couple sips of Coca-Cola, I have it. But I don't overdo it where you drink 5 or 6 a day. I think we have to, it's up to the parents to educate their children.
Well, how can they? They're drinking the soda, too.
Well,
everyone's uneducated when it comes to this. This is why I like Richard. Let me say something seriously here. Richard always had a technique. I know you're against these shows like Biggest Loser and all these kinds of things.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Because he feels that you're inspiring people by offering them money to lose weight.
I don't think competition is the way to lose weight, Robin.
You also don't believe in rapid weight loss.
Well, I think, and I've done this, many times.
Dropped a lot and then
you drop it and then you gain it right back,
Are you a disciple of Jack LaLanne, the great? He was one of the first guys to come out. I feel you're more in league with Jack LaLanne, that you talk about a lifestyle, you try to educate people. I've talked to professionals that I respect in this field of yours, and they all say to me, Richard Simmons is the best guy, the top guy, because he's not a bullshit artist. They do say that about you.
I'm very honored that next month I receive the Jack LaLanne Award from his wife.
Right, LaLanne.
And that really means a lot to me because he was an inspiration to me.
Right. Did you know the guy personally?
Yes, and I spoke at his memorial service.
What did you say?
I just told the story about how he came on the Richard Simmons show and how we bonded and how we.
Did you watch him on TV as a little boy?
No, I didn't like him.
You didn't like Jack LaLanne?
No,
why?
Not at all. Because he was fit, he was smart.
Oh, and at that time you weren't.
He was energetic.
How did you know to get into this business? Seriously.
Well, I did it for myself first.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if I can learn the portions of food and I can learn to exercise, I can teach others to do it.
What did you want to be when you were a little kid growing up? Did you want to be on TV and be an actor or something?
No.
What did you want to be?
A priest.
Is that true?
That's true.
Why didn't you go into the priesthood? You were horny.
No, it just wasn't for me.
Could you have given up sex for the entire life? I mean, that would be a major, no way I could go into the priesthood.
Well, I wanted to help people. And
Right.
when you're a kid and you go to Catholic school,
right,
the people that you admire are the policeman, the fireman, the priest. And I decided that maybe I could help people.
Did you tell the priest you wanted to become a priest?
Yeah.
And was everyone sort of grooming you for that?
No.
What?
Why did they not think you were
Because
priest
I was
material?
crazy and funny and
Should priests be allowed to marry?
I think that's a really tough question, Howard.
Why? You're afraid of controversy. You don't want to offend
No,
anyone.
no, no. I just think I don't know. Other religions, their priests and bishops can marry.
Right.
Will it happen in 25 years or 30 years? Right now, a lot of people aren't even going to church.
Right.
When we have to get people back to believe in something, because we all have beliefs, and that's what makes us good. But can I say one thing quick? Because
Do you ever come out with any kind of political statement? Do you ever
No.
feel strongly about any candidate?
No.
Do you privately feel strongly about candidates? Do you have a political point of view?
Yes.
Have you ever contributed to a political party?
No.
Because what? You're like the president. You want to be you want to keep up the aura that you're for everyone, and that.
Well, I just pray we make the right decision, put the right person in, or keep President Obama, and maybe get this world to be a better place.
Did you like Bush?
Parts of him.
No, you didn't like him.
I did.
you?
I liked his ears.
No, are you afraid to say you don't like somebody?
No, but I like to pretty much be, even level and let other.
Were you against the war in Iraq?
Oh God!
Were you
I'm
against
the
the
wrong
war?
person.
Were you against
Talk to
the
me
war?
about fitness.
No,
Talk to me
I want to
about
know
calories.
you. I want to know Richard Simmons, the man. Were you against the war in Iraq?
Parts of me were, parts of me weren't.
You can't say that.
Well, no, because we have to protect our country. It's very important that we protect the United States of
Do you
America.
feel we were in danger in Iraq? Do you really think so?
Yes.
You do?
Oh,
You
yes.
feel there
Were
were
they going
weapons?
to attack us?
Howard, I don't
Where
do
do you stand on
political.
abortion?
Oh my, Howard, I'm the wrong person.
Because you were training to be a priest.
Guys, help
No,
me.
Richard.
Guys, help me
Richard,
out
these
here.
are
Would you
legitimate
please help me
questions.
out?
Are you wearing panties? What are those? What do you wear for underwear? I don't wear those.
Oh, these are
I wear
these
boxers.
are jockeys.
You wear jockeys?
Yeah. Yes,
Man, you got a nice ass.
But let me say this quick.
Right.
I know you're in a lot of questions, but let me say this. For 6 years, I've been
Is this-
trying to get PE back in the school system.
But is this about abortion, or because I'm asking you a direct question? Are you for or against abortion?
Robin,
Yes.
did you help him write these questions?
No.
Where do you stand on gay marriage?
Oh,
You're
can I
against
just-
it. I can't believe you are against gay marriage.
I am for any people who fall in love with each other.
Of course.
And be happy. It's all about, we're not on this earth. What is this?
That's the wedding march.
That's wedding. You're talking about
we're
wedding
not on
shit.
this earth to just work and just to pay our bills.
Love is the
We're
key.
on this earth to find someone, and if you feel that strongly about somebody and you love them, I don't think anyone should get in your way.
Have you ever been in love? Seriously, have you ever been in love?
Maybe he's in love right now.
I'm in love with what I do, and that is
Stop.
all. No,
No,
Howard,
that's not
you've
the real
asked
guy.
me this question thousands
But
of
I'm
times.
being serious.
Why
I used to do
wait
it
a minute, wait a
comically.
minute.
I'm being serious.
Mother, daughter.
Why are you so uncomfortable with the reality of life?
I don't like reality.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I live in my own little world
Do you?
of exercise, motivation, calling people.
I feel like you've
visiting
retreated
people.
somewhat, not just from my show, but I feel like you've kind of like retreated a little bit. You've not slowed down. That's the wrong word, but I feel like you've become a little more cautious.
Well, no, I
That he's lowered his profile?
Yeah.
No, I do exactly what I want to do. I get to travel. I get to pick out where I want to go and teach. I get to meet wonderful people. I help people with their weight. I sometimes help people get into a rehab center or a hospital. That's my passion.
I know
That's
that
all
about
I
you.
live for.
What you did for Gary's brother when he was dying was one of the most selfless things. You were actively involved. You were there for him, and I thank you for that. I thought that was one of the most loving things, and you are a loving man. I just wonder if you've ever had love in your life, and I don't mean that in any comical sense.
Yeah,
Do you know love?
A lot of people love me,
No,
Howard. I am.
that's not the same, Richard.
I don't know why you're picking on me today.
Is that picking?
Yeah, a little bit. You won't
Okay.
even let me talk about
Go
the
ahead.
PE.
All right,
I
talk
can't
about
talk
PE.
about anything.
I
It's
wanted
just-
to know where you
No,
stand on abortion.
No, I feel
You're an important guy. People look up to you.
they don't want that information from me. They
They
want
do.
it from you. They want it from Robin.
No,
they
they
want it
don't.
from some
Not
of
from
your other
Robin.
guests.
Is it wrong to? Am I really picking on you? Because I don't sense I am.
Well, it's like an interview, but you won't let me talk or say
Because
anything.
you're avoiding questions.
Well, I'm not avoiding it. It's just this is who I
Have
am.
you ever been in love?
Oh.
Are you? Here's the following questions. Answer them right off the top of your head. Don't even give it any thought.
Robin, please help me
He's
with this.
trying to get to know
But
you.
I
want to know
Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright
Let's start
and
out-
breezy.
Richard, let's start out easy. Should Puerto Rico be a state? Do you think
Gary!
Fred, do you think Fred is stupid?
Gary! Gary!
Get back over here. Come here. Come here. What about marijuana? Should it be legal?
First, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Why is that offensive? I don't
for 6
understand.
years.
I never understand why you're angry with me. I
I'm not
swear,
angry.
I
I
don't.
love you, Howard.
I love you.
There's very few people that I'm in love with, and
Thank
you're
you.
one of them.
Is that true?
And I've known you for 1/3 of my life, and you've always allowed me to come on.
Yes.
And talk about things that were very important to me.
I adore you.
And now I feel like I'm like it's the crucible, you know.
No,
and
you
it's
don't.
just
That's
I
not
know
true.
it's true. And I wanted to come and tell you about my PE fit kids.
Are you
bill.
checking your notes?
No, I
How
just
dare you?
have
We're having a real.
everything-
You're in the middle of crying and you're checking your notes.
No, but I just
See
this
what I
is
mean?
But this is important to me. You have some causes in your life that are important.
Not really.
What is this music?
It's because you're pouring your heart out. All right. You really won't answer my questions? You won't even answer if you're for or against abortion? And I want to find out when you went into... when you told your mother you wanted to go into the priesthood, did she say, Richard, that's not for you? You have so much personality. You have so much to give. I feel that's not the right decision.
She said anything I wanted to do to help people, because that's all I care about. And you know that to
So
be
then
true.
why did you leave the idea of going to the priesthood? When did that happen?
Because I thought maybe I could do some other things to help people.
And what was that? You must have been lost as a young man. You had trouble with your weight. You had all kinds of problems. Did you?
I think I have to take a break.
You want to take a break? What's going on?
This is like a courtroom.
No, it's just that.
What
You
happened?
won't let me talk about the things that are important.
All right,
to
go
me.
ahead. Go ahead, talk. I wanted to know about your life as a young man.
Can I have a Kleenex, please?
Okay, right here.
Thank you.
Here, honey. Are you good friends with Chaz? Because you were on Dancing with the Stars. That's where I last saw you.
He's very nice.
He was on here, you know. We had a wonderful conversation.
He
Very
thought
nice
it was
man.
fine.
I love him.
I think I was a little too loud for him.
You came on strong. You came on. That's your style. That's fine for showbiz. I'm trying to get to know the real Richard Simmons.
Can I talk about my PE bill for schools?
Would you answer one question? Are you lonely?
No.
When you go home at night, are you just like, oh?
I'm exhausted
You
because
are.
I call 30, 40 people a day. I travel and teach. I just came back from a bunch of cities teaching.
I guess what I was asking is anyone there for you?
My wonderful housekeeper, Teresa, who's been with me 24 years.
Yeah, but that's someone you pay. Is there anyone there who cares about you?
No, she cares about me.
Really?
She loves me very much.
Well, as long as you pay her. You know what I mean?
That's not true, Howard.
She does.
Howard, stop.
No, I'm saying, is there someone who
She's
you
the
don't...
greatest lady, and I love her very much. And she's been with me all these years.
This is Teresa, your housekeeper? All right. Okay. I feel I've offended you, and I don't mean to. I'm dying to interview you.
Well,
I want to know everything you're up to.
Well,
Tell me about the organization you're involved with, please. All right.
Oh, dear.
What the fuck
Why
is
does
going
this
on?
always go this
Richard,
way?
Richard, what happened? What did I do? I upset you every time. And you know what I said to Gary? I said, when Richard comes in, he's going to be shocked. I'm going to give him a serious interview. I really want to find out about how he's been in his life. You want to sit on my lap? Come over here. No, don't forget. That's a bad idea. Richard, I just worry about you. I've never gotten to know the real you, and I was attempting to get to know the real you. If I've offended you in any way, I apologize. But tell me about what you're up to, please. Please. Everybody pay attention, please.
For 6 years, I've been trying to get PE back in the school system.
Right. Which, by the way, I always thought there was physical education in the school.
No, that's one of the first things along with
Yeah.
music programs
That
to
goes.
go.
It is very important. These kids sit in a classroom all day, and they really don't have any physical fitness.
First of all, a lot of schools don't even have recess, Howard. That's been taken away.
And by the way, I hated phys ed because the teachers were so mean, and they really weren't educators. They were just like, hey, do push-ups, do sit-ups. They were really they were fucking dicks, if I may call them
That was
that.
where a lot of bullying happened.
Yeah. You know, my physical education teacher in 2nd grade made us stand at attention because some kid was bad, and 2 of the kids passed out stand stiff, and if you move the muscle. So what happened now? Why are you upset? About what happened?
Nothing. Anyway, I went to Congress, and I had a congressional hearing, and I told them why PE was very important. And it's been 6 years now, and really nothing has been done.
That's right.
They've taken my Fit Kids bill, and they put it in the new education bill that the president has not okayed yet.
Why do you think that is?
Because his plate's very full right now.
Right.
And there's so many other things, unemployment and the whole crisis in America and people not working and people being very depressed and then getting sick over it. You know, some people lose their job and they get sick.
Right.
Physically
Absolutely.
sick.
Stress is a big factor in illness.
So I was just going to ask all of your millions of listeners to go to richardsimmons.com, and there's a little square there, and you can just send a little email to your congressman saying how important it is for our children to work out and to have PE in the school system.
P?
PE, yeah.
Okay.
There's 40% of schools have nothing. Some schools just have 15 minutes 3 days a week.
Yeah, it's too little.
And you know they're not getting it at home because both their parents work. So I'm just asking.
Why is phys ed? Why are the teachers so poorly trained? Like, I know when you go, if you're an overweight person and I go to your workout studio, you're really good at motivating people and understanding. Like, you got to bring along somebody slowly. Why are these phys ed teachers? And I'm not saying all. There's so many good ones.
I think you're sort of cubby holding them. There's a lot. NASB, all these organizations for people who teach physical activity, they want to now bring in toning, cardio, stretching, the things that we all need.
You feel that their level of education is higher now, and they're a little more enlightened.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're very trained to go in and teach. I love to teach at schools. Last year I taught at 25 schools, elementary, high school, and college. I just taught at Ohio State University and Pepperdine, and this year I'll do 15 more colleges.
The amount you work. And this is a little bit change of a topic, but nevertheless, I read that your net worth was $15 million, and that seemed low to me because you've been working very hard. You've been very famous. You've had many successful ventures. Deal a Meal, I'm thinking about. You do a lot of this stuff is sold on QVC, all this. Is it true you're worth $15 million? Is that something you're comfortable talking about?
I never talk about money because it's really not that important to me.
But is that your net worth? Is that somewhere in that ballpark, or are we low? Honestly.
Robin, help me.
You don't have to answer any questions.
I would never ask you that.
You don't want to.
Because
I don't know if that offends you. I have to ask you.
I'm not interested in how much money you make. I'm only interested in you as the loving,
but I'm interested.
kind human
People
being
are interested.
that I care for.
I feel like you have an empire. That like $15 million is a small chunk of it. Cayman Islands, it's all there. It's all okay. Good. Okay, that's what I thought.
Right next to Romney, right there, the next post office.
Let's go back to Puerto Rico. Should it be a state?
Anyway, I'd like to give a plug.
All right, go ahead.
For a fabulous new restaurant here in New York.
Go ahead. I love a good restaurant.
And I am so excited to talk about this. And if it was opened earlier, I would have come here.
Why do you like it? Because it's low fat, kind of a healthy restaurant?
The name of the restaurant is Parm, P-A-R-M.
Okay.
It's in Soho, that area.
Uh-huh.
And you have never had a turkey sandwich.
You still eat turkey?
In your life, like Parm.
Do you still eat red meat?
Once a month, I have a steak.
Do you? And turkey and chicken, you're okay with?
Yes, turkey, chicken, fish, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit.
What do you think of Robin being a vegan now? Do you think
it's a difficult life? I was a vegetarian. It's a hard life.
I agree. I'm down to just eating fish, and I find it difficult.
But right now, in
doing
2012, there's a lot more recipes, a lot more restaurants, a lot more choices. Do you eat beans and stuff like that?
Sure, beans and rice, all kinds of grains.
She loves it.
Yeah, but this restaurant, Parm, you're not going to believe it, Howard.
Right. And you have no interest in this financially or anything?
No. Someone told me about it, and the last time I was in New York, just for a couple hours, I went over there and had a turkey sandwich. I've never in my life.
Why is it so good?
Well, they do something with the turkey. I think I don't know if they marinate it or steam it or whatever. Howard, you eat turkey?
Yeah. Oh, I stopped recently.
Oh.
So, but when they marinate it, that's extra calories, or you don't? You're not counting calories.
No. I eat 1,500 calories a day.
Is that true?
30 grams of fat.
And when you get it at night, don't you get tremendous hunger at night, and you want to like eat a lot of nuts or something like this?
I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
When I finish talking to 20 or 30 people, many of them housebound, and many of them who've given up.
Okay.
It is very hard to get food down my throat. I'm going to be very honest with you.
So it motivates you not to eat?
No, I get very sad for what's happening in America today.
So you don't get hungry at night when you're watching TV? Or so? 1,500 calories is a light. What do you eat for breakfast?
Egg beater omelet, half of a bagel, fresh fruit and yogurt.
How many calories is that? Would you ballpark that?
I do like 400 calories for breakfast.
And then you work out for an hour and a half?
Yes, sir. And that doesn't count.
No shit. And then when you eat lunch?
Like yesterday, I was in Orlando, Florida, and I did a convention for 1,600 people who work for Murphy Oil. These are managers and district managers of gas stations all over the country.
You work out every day?
Yes, sir.
And you're telling me you eat 1,500 calories?
Yes, sir.
And the workout's an hour and a half, and you're not ready, dizzy and passing out?
No.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Well, you know what? I would like to live to be 100. You know,
That's your goal?
You're in love with a beautiful lady. You have beautiful children.
That's right.
And I know you want to be on this earth a long time to be with them. And if your weight stays good,
I look good,
and you're healthy,
right,
then you will live a longer life. And that's what I want for you.
Thank you. Well, you know what I want for you?
And for Robin. And for everybody.
Can I say what I want for you? I want love for you. I want love in your life. I don't know if you have that. And I'm not talking about Teresa, the housekeeper, or the Dalmatians.
Suddenly the music began.
Yeah, all right.
It was a tinkling on the piano. Something like...
You going to let me get to know the real you someday and interview you and find out some real things?
I would love to take you...
You're avoiding me.
I would love to take you and your wife and Robin out for dinner.
I'm not available.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm being honest. I'm not available.
Ever?
That's right.
Why?
Because, first of all, when I'm in the city, I work, and I don't go out there. I stay home and work.
Would you invite me to your home?
Out on Long Island?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not the way you behaved the last time. If you can promise me you'll behave and act normal and not go around throwing shit into the pool, maybe we could do that. I mean, but you totally
Why can't
freaked
you
me
forget
out.
this? Why can't we go beyond this?
Because I want to meet the real guy. I'm interested in the real guy. If you ever want to really have a real friend, not put on the bullshit and carrying on like Richard Simmons, throwing cucumbers and lifting people up and throwing them over your head.
Can I give you a little hug? Can I come over there?
Absolutely not.
So everything's a no.
No, because you
I came here with an open heart.
Of course you can hug me. We'll hug after. Not now. I don't want to hug. I got to get this. Oh, man. Okay, come over here. And don't hurt me when you hug me. Seriously, don't hurt me. You hug too hard. Hug me like, come on over. I love you. You're a great guy. I love you. Beautiful. Love you.
Can we do it one more time?
What?
Can we do it one more time?
Oh, another one? Don't.
This is it.
All right, don't kiss. Oh, this is so wonderful and beautiful, really. It's great to have you here.
So, about going to your house for dinner.
I would have you over if you can. You want to be real? You want to come over?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I would
I'd
invite
love
you.
to.
I'll invite you.
Okay.
All right.
And then I get to meet your wife.
Yeah, I would love for you to meet her.
And
she won't know what to make of you. I mean,
have you talked to her about me?
No, not really, because you're not in my life anymore. You totally rejected me.
I mean, you didn't say anything about coming on the show today?
No, not a bit. Because
you didn't say, honey, I'm having someone that I really care about on the show?
No, I didn't say that.
How are your daughters?
My daughters are great. Everyone's fine.
Do they ask about me?
They never ask about you.
Oh.
They don't.
You've been forgotten, Richard.
And you're not going to tell me about your life or anyone who's in it. I mean, you hold back from me. I know it. You never talk to me. You never give me the real you.
How old are you now?
How old do you think I am? My skin is fabulous.
I've been doing this 20.
Robin.
Robin, when you were at the other studio and you had me in, How many years ago was that?
That was a long time ago. That's about 20 years ago.
You have a good
What is this new
20
voice of yours?
years, and he can't hear me.
I'm going to talk to you the way you talk to me. Richard,
Wait a minute, Howard.
listen to me. Listen to me.
You want me to be real, or you want me to be this?
I want you.
Come on, what do you want?
I like.
You'll be swell.
Go ahead,
You'll be great.
Go back to your couch.
Okay.
All right, Richard, I first of all want to say, let me give you a plug here because I know that's why you're here.
No, I just
For
want
more information on Richard Simmons' Fit Kids Bill, go to richardsimmons.com. That's first of all. Go and get in touch with Richard. Richard isn't comfortable talking about his views on abortion, on gay marriage.
Richard is apolitical.
Are these phone calls?
No.
Oh, yes,
You want to
they
take some
are.
phone calls?
Oh, my God.
What
What
are the chances are he's going to start crying if we take phone calls? I don't want you crying if you're going to take phone calls.
You know, I haven't really been here this close and look at me.
It's uncomfortable.
And stared at you.
Thank you.
And
I'm a married man.
I'm going to tell you something. But you have been such, even though you don't want to admit this, you have been a good friend.
Of
and
course
you've
I have.
always supported me.
I love you.
And you've always been kind to me.
Thank you. Thank you. And can I say something?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Listen, I'm also doing
Most of the time.
I'm doing a comedy show. Sometimes things can, get funny, but you get insulted. And I don't mean.
Well, you know, you're sensitive too, Howard.
Yes.
We're both sensitive men.
But, if I could ever
just
really.
A minute, just a second.
If I could ever,
Can you take that one hair?
I'm getting uncomfortable.
Wait, okay.
Now you're making me uncomfortable. If you ever want to have a conversation with me where we sit down and talk about life, find out about what's going on in your life, your friends, your family, have you found love? I don't care who with. You understand?
But if I go through all this with you at your home, sitting there with your beautiful wife,
right? Sure.
Who does a lot of charity work?
Yes, she
and you know
does.
what? I
She's
would
a
help
lot like
her.
you.
If she wants me to teach a class for something,
No,
I would do it.
She doesn't want you to help. But go ahead.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You know that. Of
I
course
mean,
she
if I
won't.
could do something to help and raise money and teach an exercise class, I would.
I love you.
That would be wonderful.
I told you have a great heart. What you do for people, I feel, is sincere. And I think that what you impart to people, the knowledge you give them. What? No, I don't want to hug again. I don't want to hug you again. We hugged enough. Stop it. It's getting embarrassing.
Tell him you'll hug him on the way out.
Sometimes I get hard when I hug you. I didn't want to tell you that. Don't do that. You know how I feel about you. I think we make a good couple. I think Richard just knocked me up on that last hug. I feel life inside of me.
You're feeling a little sick? You're getting morning sickness?
But here's a mic. I love seeing you.
It was wonderful seeing you.
I love you.
I will give Gary my phone number.
Please do.
And anytime I can come to your home, and I'll behave.
Thank you.
And I'll dress accordingly. Right. And if you want, I could just take over your whole kitchen and cook.
No.
Oh my God, I can make chicken piccata.
I'll bring my friends to look at you too. I really want to do that.
Your friends?
Yes. I need my friends to look at you, show them that there's a celebrity in my house. Of course. I would love to have you come there and sit down and rekindle our friendship. I would love it. I would love it. Okay?
Thank you, Howard.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. And God bless you. I think the work you do is fantastic.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Okay. Do you want to take a phone call? You would love to? You love me. You're in love with me? I'm spoken for. All right, next time we'll take phone calls. I think you had
And
enough.
now some commercials from the Howard Stern Show on Sirius.
We're going to be,
What's that?
What?
we'll be back. What is that, Gary?
No, he's going to write down his numbers.
Oh.
Look at Gary. God bless.
You look at him. Gary lost a lot of weight. Lost a lot of
I
weight.
love Gary. He looks good. His children are beautiful. His wife is beautiful.
Right.
He's a good boy.
You were there at the beginning.
Yeah, you were, and then you dumped him. Richard dumped
He
us all.
dumped us all.
He dumped us all. Well, all right. All right, listen,
But
Richard
that's okay.
Simmons. Good Lord. I'm drained from the interview. You avoided a lot of questions, but I'm going to break you down. You'll see. All right. We'll be back right after these words. Richard, you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
What?
I worked hard at this.
You look fantastic. Now, you see, running and stuff is
Bad
just
for
beating
your
the shit
knees,
out of everything.
lower
I
back.
walk around like an
Well,
old
why
man.
don't you do the elliptical? You're only doing it to burn calories.
I love to go outdoors.
A recumbent bike?
What if I walk an hour a day?
It depends on your stride, and it depends on what you do with your arms. If you're walking, you should get a pedometer.
Yeah.
This is amazing because 10,000 steps a day keeps you healthy, okay?
Wow.
So if you put your pedometer on here, in the middle of where your thigh is, and you're using your hands and you're taking a stride.
Like you're not.
That way, not like browsing. That way you burn calories. Hi, baby.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Maybe I should do that.
I can handle that.
I don't have enough time. I don't have 2 hours.
It's so good to see you.
You gotta do the Artie thing where you put the pedals under your chair.
Right.
And you have to come back more often.
Here, Richard.
Yes. Aw.
Why is Richard whispering?
I don't know.
10 seconds.
Yes, he always does. He always remembers you to me.
Who? Who remembers Richard?
Who remembers Richard? Like nobody
Richard,
could?
thank you. Richard, I'm glad you came in. Thank
Richard.
you. I missed you. Richard, I missed you.
I miss you too, and I'll be back.
Okay. You love it?
Very emotional. I tell you, a very emotional visit from Richard Simmons.
Yes, it's
lovely
been
man. There he goes.
Tough day.
I love his pantsuit.
I love it.
Fabulous.
I could see you wearing that.
I might wear that on America's Got
I
Talent.
would say you would be very fashionable.
I have to go on QVC and buy that outfit. So long, Richard. All right, there he goes. Richard. Bye. Bye.
Richard.
What?
Do you feel that your relationship with Howard has been... Oh, Richard.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Richard. Do you feel that your relationship is back with Howard? Do you feel you guys have made the connection again?
I felt so good talking to Howard and Robin and everybody. It was really very good for me to come back and to be part of the show. I've been doing this show for 1/3 of my life, and just to come here and see him and Robin, I'm very excited that I was welcomed back.
What does this show represent to you in your life? I mean, so many great memories.
Well, Howard and I have had a lot of laughs, and we've done a lot of fun things, and certainly he makes fun of me, but that's okay. I can take it. He's just an endearing friend. I don't really get close to people. My work is my most important thing, and I don't have a lot of friends or outlets, and when I come here, I feel like I have friends in there.
If you had to pick a favorite, would it be Howard, Robin, or Gary?
What kind of a person are you? Why do you do that? Oh, Sophie's Choice. Daughter, son! Daughter, son!
Well, there you go, Richard Simmons. Hadn't seen him in a while. Very emotional visit. He cried 6 or 7 times.
That's probably par for a visit with us.
But it's funny with Richard because JD gave me a tape of him on other talk shows, and he always breaks into tears.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing that I don't know
what the real
right.
deal is.
Right. I don't know what the real deal is with him. And what was that whole emotional thing going on with you after we did the interview? He hugged me, then he hugged you, and then he started whispering to you about something?
Yeah, we have a mutual acquaintance.
Yeah.
And he was just telling me how much that person loves me, and that he always says to him to say hello to me. And I was telling him that the guy always delivers the message.
I'm confused.
It doesn't sound like that much, but he was very emotional about it.
Oh, he was like, Robin? And he went, and I go, what? What are you whispering about? Do you think Richard's too thin?
No.
He looks
I think
good.
he looks fine.
Yeah. It's weird with him. I'll never get to know the real him.
I don't think it's possible. I don't think...
What is that? He's safe behind that persona?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually does really good work.
He's very sincere about his work.
Right. He really is. I mean, he gives good advice. Everyone I know in that field goes, Richard Simmons actually has solid advice for people. It's very practical. It's not pie in the sky. I'll get weight off you in 2 months. You'll be a whole new person. You know, he's very, very practical about it. And ultimately, I think he's pretty successful. I mean, not with everyone, but on a mass level, he does pretty much... I think he gets people to lose weight and get healthy.
I was simply commenting on the numbers constantly going up. And we never did talk to him about Paula Deen. I wanted to talk to him about
What's to talk about? Paula Deen is one of these people who promotes, fatty cooking and fast, all this food.
And Richard's been on the show.
Yeah. Well, Richard doesn't make any judgments.
But it's so unhealthy what she's promoting.
Yeah. Oh, Richard's been on the show?
Yeah.
Well, he probably said to her, what do you, the stuff in moderation, Paula?
Any of that stuff shouldn't be eaten at all.
Yeah. Honestly,
deep fried lasagna, nobody should have a bite of that.
I didn't ask him about it because I didn't really think of it.
And the
Wasn't
woman
avoiding
now
it.
has diabetes, and she kept it secret for 3 years until she got an endorsement deal for a drug.
Hey, Mark in Boston. Hi.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, my favorite part of that interview is when you're, at night when you're laying in bed and you get hungry, don't you like nuts?
Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Oh, you did?
Do you ever eat some nuts?
Oh, you did shit like that, like 3 or 4 times throughout the interview, and I know you didn't do it on purpose, but it was a riot.
Well, with him, it's funny because, I was actually interested in the fact that he wanted to be a priest, and I really wanted to know what went wrong there.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I'm like, what, the priest, you said the priest didn't want you?
But I don't know. With Richard, it's tough,
Oh,
I really tried to
get through.
Yeah, like to crack that shell, but you can't with him.
No, it was like if you put Benji, JD, and Sour Shoes minds all together. That was like that interview. I couldn't understand what the fuck I was supposed to get out of that, other than he's more bizarre than I even thought he was.
I don't think you got anything out of it, quite frankly.
Oh my God! I mean, it was fascinating, but I just wound up. It was just like a vortex, just like Benji.
Yeah, and then he starts crying, and you don't want to. You just
you don't want to keep that going.
No,
because he'll leave.
Oh my God! So what did you do? Keep Sal on a leash? Sal must have been begging to come in.
Well, no, Sal wasn't begging to come in, but he was on the phone. I was going to go to phone calls because I saw Sal had some tape of Sal. What were those tapes you had? You know when Sal is on the phone but with tapes?
Yes.
And it's it's Mark the Bagger. Can you call in so I could have heard what that would be like? Call in as Mark the Bagger, Sal. Yeah, I saw a thing up there. It said Sal's on the phone with his Mark the Bagger tapes. And I went, I was going to get to it, but then he kind of left and he was hugging me and you know what I mean? It was like the interview was over.
Yeah, it's tough with him, you know.
Yeah. Let's see what Mark the Bagger would have asked. Okay, hey, thanks, Mark. Later.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
The boys can't call in a second because they're in the middle of a call.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they got Tradio on the line.
Yeah.
They do. Tradio goes on at 9 o'clock sharp.
And then, Ham Hands Bill was on. No, that's going to go back. Hey, Ham Hands, what were you going to ask Richard?
Hey, how you guys doing? I was going to ask Richard a question, but I wanted to ask you, about a month ago, Howard TV recorded the Wack Pack Superfan Roundtable. Do you know if that's going to air?
That's what you're going to ask Richard?
Well, no, I was going to ask Richard if he still reciprocates after the guys lick his asshole.
You see what I mean? That would have just
gone badly.
That would have gone badly.
Thanks, Ham Hands.
And as far as the Superfan thing, when is that airing, Doug Goodstein? Ham Hands wants to know.
We are looking into it for a behind-the-scenes show. I'm not sure yet.
Behind-the-scenes show, so he doesn't have an exact date yet, Ham Hands.
All right, thanks, guys. And happy birthday, happy New Year, guys.
All right, later. Same to you.
Thanks.
Bye. Oh, yeah. Here's Mark the Bagger for Richard. Hi, Mark.
Hello?
Hi.
Love the show.
Thank you. And what do you want to say to Richard Simmons?
I need your advice.
Okay.
How far up my ass can I stick a wiffle ball bat?
Wait. Howard!
I just have one question.
All right, ask a serious question because Richard's getting upset. I'm getting upset.
I don't get a Michelob bottle out of my ass. I need your advice.
What is that?
How do I stuff my cat's asshole back in?
What?
Is it wrong to jerk off to my dad?
Why do you do this to me? Why?
I just have one question.
What? Please, a serious question for Richard.
How do I get a monkey to stop biting me? Why, fuck it.
How do you... Howard, can't we talk about phys ed?
Out of my ass.
What?
You won't believe this, but I just farted, and a black cock fell out out of my ass.
I want to talk about P.E. Robin.
Salami, my brother.
Robin.
Get the cum out of your ears, and that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Gary.
What happened? Did that gerbil crawl out of your ass and chew out your eardrums?
Thank you, Mark. There, that would have been Mark. Rob Schneider will be on the phone. He's got a new hit show.
Is it a hit? Has
it's
it
a
started
hit.
yet?
Oh, yeah, no, it did. I watched it, yeah, with Cheech
I
and
saw
Chong.
the previews.
Yeah, the show, the critics gave him so much shit. You know Rob's career.
Right.
So he put on a sitcom, and I think he's up like against American Idol and stuff. And the show fucking slammed in the ratings. Like, did
wow,
great. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So now he's pissing on everybody. He's going to call up and piss on everybody.
I told you that movie he does, Big Stan, I think it's called. I love that movie.
Well, the man is Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. Enough said.
He's Big Stan to me.
Well, he's Deuce Bigelow and always will be to me. All right, we'll talk to Rob in a minute, right after these words.
I was saying to Will, has anyone asked Rob ever to change his name? Like when I was typing his name, I was like, first of all, it's like hard to spell. It doesn't sound good. You know, I always wanted to do.
Very Jewy.
You know, if anyone ever said, "Hey, you should change your name."
Very Jewy. Rob Diaz.
Rob Schneider, you talked about how the show got panned by critics, but it's doing well in the ratings. You know, the show is supposedly loosely based on his real life. He married this hot Mexican producer. She was really attractive. The last time he's here, he was on the fence about doing a prenup because he didn't know how to approach it, so I'm curious whether he ended up signing a prenup. I guess for years and years and years, 15 years now, he has supported his high school band, like just funded the entire program, more than $2 million, and I guess times are tough, so he had to stop doing it last year.
Let's get to the phone. Come on, let's talk to Rob. Find out what's going on with him. We haven't spoken to him in a while. Rob Schneider, who, of course, is the genius behind Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
And Big Stan.
Big Stan, yes, but Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. I mean, what a film that. The most complete comedy.
Well, I say Big Stan is just right up there.
All right. We'll forever debate it. Rob, in your opinion, which is a better movie, Big Stan or Deuce Bigelow?
Gosh, I like, I got to say that Deuce Bigelow's probably got some higher highs, but we had no money on Big Stan. I mean, we actually shot it in a real prison with prisoners. You know, that's
what I like about it. It's real.
It's real. It's raw. Rob was butt-fucked by 14 prisoners on that movie. He took it.
Somebody had to do it.
You're not kidding. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Hey, congrats on everything. I'm excited for your new show.
America Got Talent. America have voted.
Yeah. I know. Well, hopefully it'll be better than last year's talent. I mean, I put a question mark by America's Got Talent on that show there.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't think... I met that guy, actually. His name's like Eugene Landy Jr. or something.
Yeah.
He was like a Frank Sinatra. First of all, I don't know anyone who likes to sit and listen to Frank Sinatra. I know that there are people who do, but I don't know them from my generation. I don't know.
Ralph loves Frank Sinatra.
To be honest with you, they kept showing clips of him cleaning his car, and I think he was better at cleaning his car than he was at Sinatra.
I think he's back to cleaning his car. But actually, no, now he's like in concert and everything. I met him, and he's a really nice guy, and he had a great backstory, but I don't know that that's the next big star. You know what I mean?
So, but I think it'll, as this show will go on this year, I think it'll be more interesting, and maybe it'll get there. So that's good.
And congratulations to you. Now, the critics, this is always the story with you. The critics just fucking beat the shit out of you.
They go after me. They could not have been more vicious. Rob Schneider strangles children. He masturbates farm animals. If you watch this show, you'll go blind. It's the end of civilization as we know it.
It was, in a way, it almost made you watch the show because it was like, hit New York Times. Rob is so retrograde and unimaginative that it makes Mr. Schneider's 1996 sitcom Men Behaving Badly look sophisticated.
Wow, that's vicious.
Well, they were brutal, and I went, oh man, this show must be off. I watched it, I laughed, had a great time, and the show kicked ass in the fucking rating.
Good,
right?
It did great. We had 13.5 million people watch it the first week. I just wish the reviewers were more honest. Like, why him, not us?
Well, in a way, yeah. Why do you think?
You garner that kind of
I get that shit
reaction?
Too. I do too. It's almost like a professional jealousy.
Well, they think, why should he get to date beautiful? Why should they get to date beautiful women and get to go to nice restaurants and be seated before everybody else? Why should he get upgraded to first class and get extra pretzels and hang out in the Admiral's Lounge? Why not us?
Do you think it's because you don't look like a movie star? In other words, you're a comedian. You're not the tall, strapping leading man.
I think so, and I think, but it's funny, because somebody asked me, I was talking to this one director, I don't want to mention his name, but, he said, why do they love Philip Seymour Hoffman so much and kiss his ass every movie? And it's because they look like him. They're schlubby, they got a lot of facial hair, they're balding, they're not getting laid, they're up late at night watching porn, it's all these things.
Rob, when you produce are you the producer on the show, or is it?
Yeah, I'm executive producer, too.
Does it have anything to do with Adam Sandler, this production, or are you free?
No, it's not. I just, Adam is just, I wanted to, kind of do my own thing and break out a little bit.
Right, and rightly so. So,
what does that mean, though? That you don't like being under?
No, in other words, Adam always teams up with Rob.
Yeah.
And I was just curious if Adam had his hand in this thing.
Yeah, but he said this time he decided to step out. I mean, is it bad being under Rob?
Well, yeah,
Adam?
because...
first of all, it's been... Adam
yes, it is.
I looked at my old house and go, this is the house that Sandler built,
Right, you want to build your own house.
But I also it'd be nice to break out on my own. And this way, a couple of years from now, we'll do some more stuff together. I mean, he's like my big brother, except he's my little brother. My very little rich brother.
Right. It's annoying. So, is Adam to you like the Godfather, where you have to go to him first and say, listen, Adam, I'm thinking of producing a show on my own. Would it be okay with you? I mean, you don't have that kind of relationship with him.
No, we don't. But, he's just really happy for me. I mean, he's the first call that's my biggest cheerleader. Said, hey, man, I'm psyched for you to, kick some ass. And it's that kind of thing, Because when we first got into show business, the thing we both had in common was nobody wanted to hire us. It was those kind of weird looking, not really handsome leading man kind of things, and just kind of, we're laughing at our own jokes kind of stuff. And then, the first thing I remember he got was this little movie, the Shecky Moskowitz on a cruise line thing, and I got some crappy TV series, 229 or whatever. And you just, we're not even in show business. If it wasn't for stand-up, I don't know how we would have made a living back then.
Were you friends with him before Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I mean, I lived on his couch for a while, and he was living with Judd Apatow in the crappiest part of North Hollywood,
Oh.
It's amazing how all you guys became famous all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
And David Spade, we were all kind of in the same kind of. We were lucky because that's when there was stand-up. It was there were clubs in every city, so you can actually kind of make a living.
Rob, when you were in that group of Apatow, Sandler, Spade, all those guys, was there one guy out of your group who didn't make it? You always go, that's the one fucking guy who was hanging around with us and never made it.
Well, Apatow never made it as a stand-up, but it was a funny stand-up. But Drake Sather was a guy that was one of the best stand-ups there. And just there's people just couldn't make a transition to becoming actors.
What was his name? Drake what?
Drake Sather. He's a great comedian. He had some amazing jokes. And everybody from that era remembered him as wow, that guy was amazing.
Is he out of show? Yeah, is he out of show business?
He passed away, he's no longer alive. But it happens, sometimes the comedians, I remember him saying, he suffered from depression. He said, the only time I'm happy is when I'm coming. You know, and I went, it can't be that dark. But I remember, like, the guys who were kind of lighter was like Seinfeld, you know, Jay Leno, and you know, and Sandler and me. We weren't depressed. And I remember thinking, like, do I have to be depressed to make it in this thing? You know, I never felt that way.
I know, because they always say that the best comics are these guys who wrestle all these inner demons. And if you don't have all those inner demons,
what do you do?
You go, hey, maybe I'm not a great comic. But there are a lot of guys out there who don't have all those inner demons.
Yeah, I don't think you have to suffer miserably to be a great artist. But I do remember thinking, like, well, maybe I got to be more depressed or something, or stay up later or something, because these guys are all miserable.
Right. Sandler, I forget the story. Didn't you brought Sandler into Saturday Night Live, or he brought you in?
No, I was there first, about 6 months before, and he came in, and I just remember, you know, the people, nobody liked him at first, as far as, you know, like his material, but like everybody, you know, the younger guys were like, this guy's hilarious, what are you talking about?
Right.
But the old guard just wasn't into him at all.
Who was the old guard?
Well, the old guard was like, you know, the older writers who were there. There was the Dana Carveys and Phil Hartman. Dana was actually more open to it.
I bet those guys are sorry now.
Well, but Dana was actually one of the guys who was cool. But like the old guard that was with him there, you know, like
Al Franken,
Austin Powers. Al Franken hated him.
Right.
Senator Al Franken really could. But to Al's credit, though, years later he kind of came around. I mean,
right.
We said, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, and you said Al Franken didn't get it. Carvey kind of got it. But Austin Powers didn't get it.
Austin Powers didn't get it and stuff. But you understand, though. I mean, I understand where those guys are coming from now, because, like...
Were they threatened?
You know, so who are these new a-holes? Because I was at that time, there were so many cast members on Saturday Night Live. Half of the show was just, and also feature player Dana Carvey, you know, and, you know, David Spade, another feature player, Rob Schneider. So I could see these guys kind of getting frustrated because they had put in the years, and so...
Yeah, but it is sad that they couldn't mentor you guys and say, you know what, hey, let's break the pattern here. Let's be nice to the new guys.
Yeah, but guys like Kevin Nealon was always amazingly cool to everybody.
He seems like a real good guy, like a good-hearted guy.
Everybody loves him, you know, and like deservedly so. I'm glad he's having success doing TV show and stuff like that. But the guys who are talented, they survive.
You walked away from stand-up comedy, but now you're going back to it a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I did Grown Ups with Adam Sandler and Kevin, James and David Spade and Chris Rock saying, you got to get back and do it. And I said, I don't know what I talk about. Just talk about what you're talking about with me. And then he said to me, you know what I think? I think you don't like money.
Yeah, because I've talked to Spade about this, and certainly Chris Rock. I mean, those guys are making a ton in just even showing up at corporate events. And
yeah, well, I'm not in that kind of league like Chris Rock, but like I've been doing it for the last 2 years, and it's been great because I haven't had to do jobs I wouldn't want it to do, and it's actually I never got to that place where I felt like I had a killer stand-up hour, because like Jay Leno told me years ago that, hey, all you need is 20 minutes to be a star. All these guys think you need 2 hours of material. Who cares about 2 hours of material? All you need is 20 minutes. And so that's what happened. Basically Adam Sandler and David Spade got 20 minutes of material, and that's all we ever had. And then we became famous.
Hey, by the way, the chick on your new TV show, the one who plays your wife,
yeah,
major piece of ass.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl from Spain.
Did you cast her?
Yeah, there was a bunch of people that we were looking at, and she was just, a standout. Just a beautiful girl.
It's kind of cool too the way you write it, because you're making out with her all the time. And...
Did you have another one of those fun casting things? Remember when he called us from the set?
Yeah, Rob was casting some movie, and all of a sudden he sends me the casting video of these girls washing something against a piece of plexiglass with their titties out. I go, what? Is that even in the movie? He goes, no, we're just auditioning people.
That was actually more. If you watch that was actually more interesting than the movie itself.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was fantastic. But you're married now, right?
Yeah, I'm married. If you think that she's beautiful, you should go online and see my real wife. I got my TV wife is beautiful, but my real life wife is much more beautiful, I think. And she's my life changed. This whole TV show was her idea. She said, you should do a TV show where you're married to your Mexican girl, and the in-laws don't like you, like my in-laws don't like you. And
I thought this was your life.
Her parents don't like you? For real?
Well, I think they're coming around to the idea, but I'm older than her,
Yeah.
I don't want to say, I hate talking about people, what's her age, because it doesn't matter.
Well, how old is your wife?
How young she is, but I don't want to say how old she is, but I will say she still has those little ridges on her teeth.
Oh, from the braces. She's 11.
No, she's in her late 20s. That's what. She's 28.
Well, how old are you now?
48, you know.
That's not such a
you know
spread.
how old I am?
No.
Yeah. I'm in my, you know, it's like I'm at that age, you know, when I'm in my 40s now, I know when I jerk off standing up, I get winded, you know.
So
you know, I find myself, instead of watching porn, I watch the military channel. You know, things in my
That's
life
old.
shifting.
That's old. Hey, since I last spoke to you, like, you were about to get married. He met this really hot Mexican chick.
Yes.
And he says to me, I'm getting married, I'm in love, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I'm happy for you. I go, hey, Rob, you're doing a prenup this time, aren't you? He goes, it's weird to bring it up. You know, I'm in love.
What is with some of these guys who
I don't
think
know.
it's weird and you can't bring it
Did you ever bring it up?
Actually, she brought it up with me.
Wow. Good girl.
And she said she wasn't signing one.
Rob, I thought about a prenup, and guess what? I'm not signing it. Hey, there's a
No, that's
picture.
Actually, listen, I know you own a lot of California real estate, and I got to tell you, it's not going up. So you got to sign something that if we divorce, I'm not getting any part of your debt.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not a super wealthy guy. I mean, if this show really does take off, you'll have a lot of money.
No, I'm like sneaky wealthy, you know. I do okay and I'm all right, but like, you know, if I stopped working for 6 months, I'd be, you know, you'd see me doing like you know, some sort of fried chicken commercial somewhere. You know, I have to work.
Yeah, I mean, like here, I'll tell you something Rob did that was really
Okay.
nice. People don't know this about Rob Schneider. Rob was in his high school band or something, right? Didn't you play music in your high school band? What did you play?
I played trombone.
You can never get laid with a trombone.
I know exactly.
Why
I
didn't you
realized
take
very
guitar?
early. Well, because it just, you know, back then it was like whatever instrument you could make a noise out of. And my town was a poor town, so we didn't have guitars. You picked up, I couldn't make a noise out of a saxophone or a trumpet, but I said the trombone, you can make a noise out of that, then you play that. And you couldn't say no.
But, you know, it's like it would have been a lot cooler because Rob could have been like in Van Halen or something, but instead he played the trombone. So he played the trombone. But anyway, he has a soft spot in his heart for his high school band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the high school has an orchestra of some kind, so Rob was in it. So they had no more money for it, and Rob agreed to finance their whole music program at the school, at the high school, like to the tune of like almost $2 million, right?
Yeah, it's been almost $2 or $3 million, and it's been nice because you know the towns in California.
But the thing is, Rob had to stop giving money to him because you know
he couldn't afford it.
Yeah, he ran out of dough.
Yeah, I mean, I at a certain point, like when I wasn't really making movies, like, I'm more proud of the program when we were broke and didn't have money, and we, you know, my family found the money to keep the program going. But now that, you know, hopefully with the TV series up, we'll be able to help out, and we've got some other people pitching in because I was paying for it all by myself.
Yeah, no. Rob's a good guy, you know. People don't know.
We did it for 15 years.
If the critics,
That's amazing.
If the critics knew what a good guy Rob was,
They wouldn't be so hard.
Yeah, he's like Clooney. He's a good man.
He's the whole package.
Yeah.
If you survive long enough, they come around. That's the whole thing, you know.
So what was the bottom line? Did your wife sign a prenup?
No, we didn't.
I told you what she said.
Tell those high school kids that they're not getting any band. What was that?
I signed a thing that if I go in further into debt, my California, because I had an office building in California, I had a couple of homes, and everybody, we took a massive hit here. I mean, California, I mean, we're like Chechnya. I mean, it's really tough out here.
Right. So you took a big hit financially.
Yeah, but it's okay. You know, I mean, it's like compared to what? But it's been a good thing, you know, because, you know, my wife came up with a TV, you know, so, I mean, even if it was a prenup, she could sue the crap out of me. So that's
So you don't
I'm
care.
happy for her.
You're a hopeless
Yeah.
romantic, you are.
I am, and you know what? And it's like it's honestly the best time of my life. She's been so great to me and with me, you know. And I'm trying to learn Spanish. We take dancing lessons together, you know.
Dancing lessons.
The hell?
Yeah. We took tango lessons tonight. Yeah.
Is that fun?
It was fun, yeah. I find because salsa, I stink at salsa, but tango is a very stiff kind of dance. And as I'm getting older and more stiff and I can't move, tango actually works really well for old guys.
You would never do Dancing with the Stars, though, would you?
No, I mean, first of all, Dancing with the Stars, I question I put a question mark by the stars. I don't know half of those people are.
Yeah.
And it's not fair for the football players. They're professional athletes. They can learn moves and stuff, you know?
That's right. It's fixed.
It is fixed. So, but I'm just doing on this, and hopefully this TV series will be fun. I get Cheech and Chong. I mean, they get a chance to work with one of my heroes.
Yeah, Cheech is amazing. Cheech, I love that guy. I love Chong, too.
He's still having fun. I know Tommy Chong, and they still perform.
I know. They recently went back when Tommy got out of jail, and We used to have Tommy on all the time. We were like trying to get Tommy out of jail because he went to jail for bongs. It was fucking retarded.
Ridiculous.
He was just in at the wrong time to sell bongs. I mean, you don't during the Bush administration. It was just a bad idea.
Yeah, Obama allows you to sell bongs, I think.
I know. So, that's the thing. With the new Republicans in there now, I haven't heard one new idea, interesting idea of how to, from the Republicans, how to get us out of this economic quagmire. At least Obama had a new idea. Change.
Yeah. Hey,
Take whatever dollars we have left in America and turn it into change.
I got to tell you, I had no idea how political you were. Like, Rob's all political.
Is he?
Yeah, here's your quote from Rob on America. Right now in America, there's this undercurrent of anger and staunch conservatism taking over. I think capitalism at its zenith is very ugly, and I think we're starting to see some of that. You're like one of those Occupy Wall Street guys.
Kind of, yeah. But as my show becomes more successful, you'll see me being less and less political.
Right. Smart. Yeah, calm down with that shit.
Yeah. But you know what, though? It is funny, though. But you get out there and you realize it's tough out there, Yep. I mean, it really is. You see people are struggling, and it's, it's kind of be heartless. And but by the way, it's not the 1% that's the problem. It's not like me and you, Robin. It's 0.06%, like Howard and like Romney and assholes.
Yeah,
like
let's
Adam Sandler.
call a spade a spade.
It's Sandler. It's me, Sandler, and Romney.
And Clooney.
And Clooney.
These are the guys who can afford to put.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't realize your investments. I got to get some more investments.
Me
you only
too.
pay 13.9%. I didn't realize that. You got to shift your income over to your investments. That's what I learned from this whole thing.
Me too. I said maybe Romney should be president. The guy's a genius. I want to pay 15% of my taxes. I get a check. I don't know about you. It doesn't seem to work out for me.
And I got to tell you, I was also a genius is Gingrich. I mean, he's just really amazing. I mean, he's a creative thinker. That's what we need in America. I mean, if he can talk his wife into having an open marriage, think of what else he can talk people into.
If he could ask his wife for a divorce while she's having cancer,
he can ask the tough questions,
and he can negotiate with governments from other countries.
People into talk Americans, hey, you're not homeless, you're just camping.
That's right. He's that kind of strong personality.
Yeah, just people without health care just don't get sick.
Hey, how's the sex life? How long you been married now?
It'll be April 23rd. It'll be a year and a couple of months. I will say
it's not that long.
Pills. I'm taking more pills for my penis than any other pills I've ever had.
No, you're not. Are you?
No. I got the healthy stuff. There's stuff you can take called maca. There's horny weed. I'm trying to do the healthy way.
So you go to the health food store.
Be honest with me, Rob. You're married a year now. You went out. How long did you go out with your wife before you married her?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
That was a long time.
Is the sex still, in terms of just the amount, it slacks off a little, right?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm trying to do things to make it. I think she kind of got bored after a while, and then
right.
I think as we do more and more stuff together, because as you know, women need the intimacy, not necessarily the sexual act. They need the drama up to it.
So when you added the dance classes and all that stuff in, the sex increased?
Yeah, it's helping because it's not just a dance class. We go out to dinner, we talk, we spend time, we drink some wine.
What made you think she got bored, though? Was she really slowing down on you? Were you getting nervous that, this is it, it's over?
I noticed there was a lot of more watching the television than me.
Right.
The lights were not just going down, they were going off completely.
Now, are you thinking of having kids with her?
Yeah, I would like to, sure. I'm ready to, my friends think my friends who are in their late 40s are like, are you ridiculous? You want to change diapers now?
Right.
Because all their kids are graduating from college, But I said, yeah, I kind of get that thing where where John Lennon was like, hey, let's spend some time at home and have a kid because I'll be able to really enjoy the kid now. Whereas, before I was just, you're just interested in your career and how do you make it and how do you crush your enemies and become more successful than them.
Right.
But now I think I really want to enjoy it.
You're a changed man. But aren't you afraid that then she'll start focusing on the kid and not you?
I'll be fine with that.
I don't know, man. You're an actor. You're a comedian. You guys.
You're saying he's a baby.
We all are. All men are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean you're not paying attention to me? Why are you paying attention to that kid?
I think you're right. I think that will be a problem. But that's okay. I'm willing to accept that now and just, transition into that.
Where is your hot wife right now?
She's downstairs. She's flying back to Mexico tomorrow for a couple of days.
She's not afraid?
She's she's fine. But it's one of those things you do got to be careful. Something like that. So she goes pretty low profile.
Right. She is hot though. I'll tell you. I just looked at a picture of her online.
She's a beautiful person. You know, she's super smart. She was a television producer. That's how I met her.
Oh, yeah?
She's producing 4 shows at the same time down in Mexico. And one of them was called Guerras de Chistes, which is like War of the Jokes. And I was on. She didn't want me on the show because I don't speak Spanish. And she said, why do we have this gringo American doesn't speak any Spanish? It's going to be boring for the audience because they're going to have to interpret everything. It's going to slow everything down. And so, but they said, you have to have him on because he's a movie star, blah, blah, blah. And so then I asked her, you know, and when you see the thing I love about Mexicans, when you see them, they kiss you as soon as they see you.
That's nice.
It's really nice, and this beautiful girl kissed me. I said, wow. I said, I like this girl. So I asked her out to dinner, which the dinner meant that she had to fly to Los Angeles, you know, but it was a couple of weeks later. She wasn't sure. She came kind of as a joke. She brought her mom with her, and then she liked it.
What? And she kissed you the second she met you? Like, not on the lips, though.
No, just kiss you on the cheek. That's how they greet people. But it's like, I'm not used to that.
How long did it take you to get in her pants?
Well, you know, it was like we kind of went back and forth. I mean, she flew out here with her mom, so it was kind of an impediment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And the mom
to make out with in front of your mom. Is your mom going to use the restroom at the restaurant pretty soon so I can make out with you?
And plus, the mom thought you were an asshole, right? Like she just didn't like you.
Well, sure. Well, you can imagine, you know, who's going to want to go out with? Who's flying my daughter in from Los Angeles? This movie actor schmuck, you know?
Right.
But then, you know, she just kind of was like, okay. And I said, well, you know, if you're going to want to do this, you got to move here. You got to just, and so she quit her job and everything. And
nice.
I think it was tough at first because it's not just giving up her job. It's her language. It's her food. It's her culture.
Right.
You know, she wasn't one of these Mexicans who was coming over here and just trying to make a life. She had a life and left a life.
Right.
So.
She actually was making a living in Mexico.
Yeah, and she loved it. She loves her country and her culture. She's very proud of it, and so, you know, I mean, if anything, it's like you know, that's why it's been fresh for me. I have to constantly make up for that all the time.
So how long does it take you to get into her pants? Because like it's obvious her mom is watching over the whole situation, and no one trusts you and thinks you know you're just like some movie guy who's gonna fuck her and leave her.
I think it was the third trip after the mother kind of trusted me a little bit more, and then you know. Then the mom took an extended shower, and I think it all worked out pretty well.
Right. While she was showering, you banged your wife.
Yeah, but I felt terrible for minutes after that, you know.
Yeah. So Rob, based on his real life, wrote this sitcom, which is called Rob. And it's kicking ass in the ratings.
Excellent.
And Rob is funny, you know that. Cheech is on there. Cheech of Cheech and Chong.
And there's this great comedian named Eugenio Derbez. He's the biggest comedian. It was Patricia's idea, my wife's idea, to have this guy. He said, you got to meet this guy. He's incredible.
The guy who plays your brother-in-law.
Yeah. He's fantastic. He's a really funny guy. And his English is getting better, but he's just physically so funny. So this is our next, you know, I think he's going to be our next big comedy star in America, is this guy.
Hey, after you got the good ratings the first week out, does CBS kiss your ass a little bit?
They've been great. Well, they've been promoting the show, and they've been terrific. You know, it's funny, but
what do you mean terrific though? Do they send you a gift or something like when you have a good week?
I just noticed that they're promoting it on the TV show, and they've been come by and say hi and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I've been out of TV so long, you know. And the show is like, by the way, it's like not even 23 minutes. Like when I did a sitcom 15 years ago, it's 20 minutes 30 seconds. So it's basically like you can't go to the bathroom during the show, or you miss half the show.
Right? Yeah, it's true, and it's.
But
and you write the show?
Yeah, I've been writing it. I got some good guys, Joe Fury and my buddy Lou Morton writes the show. So we got one Mexican guy. I don't know his name, but I hear he's good. So, but we're hanging in there. My wife comes up with some stuff too, and it's been fun. So
here's some people want to talk to you. Hold on, Ryan, go ahead. Ryan in Powell, Ohio. I'm with Rob Schneider, the star of Rob.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, Rob, so you had this show in the 90s called Men Behaving Badly.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, man. I just watched it again on Netflix. Very funny. After the first season, your co-stars started complaining about money, and they had to be replaced at the beginning of the second season. So how do you feel about them, like, ruining your hit show?
Is that true, Rob? Did they ruin the show?
He wasn't complaining about money. I think it was more about controls. You know, I mean, first of all, if you ever saw the British show was better. I'm glad. Thank you for liking the American show, but the British show, I said, if you just do the British show like you guys told me you were going to do, we'd have a monster hit here. And so we had some conflicts, and he was fired off the show, unfortunately, because I thought, you know, Ron Eldar, not only is he a really good actor,
Ron's a real good actor.
Yeah. He's a great guy, and I felt like we never got the chemistry after that. And honestly, you know, I was like more, you know, confrontational then. And I had some problems, and I remember, one of the things I can't recommend you do as an actor on a sitcom is to grab the neck of the vice president of the network and throw him off your set. And I don't know if it was...
He didn't like that?
The steroids I was on, but there was a guy who was kind of a dick, and I don't know. I said, I can't take this anymore. He was kind of, and I just grabbed him by the neck, and I
Rob,
was taking some kind of steroids at the time.
Were you?
It was like those, the light steroids. It's like, this isn't real steroids. It's kind of red stuff, while you work out.
Yeah.
It's like little drops. But I was taking like a whole thing a day, and my neck was getting bigger, my back was getting bigger, and I just turned to him and I grabbed him, and the week later it was canceled. So it was my own fault.
Is that really true? I mean, you grabbed his neck, and they just said, "Hey, fuck these guys." And now, when you look back on it, don't you realize, what the hell were you like? What was Ron Eldert all upset about?
Well, when you're in your 30s and late 20s, you're an idiot. You don't realize what a great opportunity you have.
Right.
And I remember Jay Leno sat me down one time, and he's always been nice to me. He said, "Hey, listen, let me tell you, hey, Rob, hey, you got to find a way to work this stuff out. Hey, we're all replaceable. You don't think they get another Tom Cruise tomorrow? They get another Tom Cruise in an hour. You don't think you get another guy to host the show if I leave? They get another guy in 2 minutes. They got to find a way." And so it's true.
So he was trying to talk some sense into you. In other words, hey,
and at the time it was I'm trying to make this show great, and that's not what it's about. You have to try to make a way to make it as best as you can. It's never going to be perfect. And I remember when I finally started doing meditation and relaxing, and then a week later after I choked this guy, I remember I think I'm going to be relaxed. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to fight anymore. And it got canceled.
Yeah, you finally got your shit together, and they canceled
it.
Jimmy, go ahead.
Perfect.
Jimmy, you're on the air.
Yeah. Steve Martin is the luckiest racist in fucking comedy.
What do you mean?
He's a fucking Persian. He's Persian. He's an Iranian, and he's been doing the Mexican stereotype for the entirety of his career.
Cheech is Iranian? Cheech is Iranian?
Yes, he is. Look at his fucking face in the first place. And every other interview he admits he says he's Persian. He's a fucking Iranian.
Rob, hold on a second, Jimmy. Rob, can that be true?
He's not. He's a Chicano, but he
oh, shit.
No, because
I was going to say, has he been lying to us?
No, Geraldo told me he's Mexican.
Every time Rob gets a stick, he writes a sitcom about it.
You're breaking up, Jimmy. I can't even hear you, but...
sorry.
All right, but Rob, there's no way that's true.
No. He's a Chicano. He speaks Spanish, and what Farsi he speaks is not fluent.
All right, one last call, and I'll let you get back to bed. Clayton, go ahead. You're on the air, Nashville.
Hey, thank you, Howard. Rob, I don't know how you got away with sticking that scene in there where you went into the grandmother's room and got the candle wax.
That was a
on
good
the front
scene.
of you. Dude, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, in Rob's first, the pilot episode, he bends his grandmother. His wife's grandmother gets bent over the bed, and he gets candle wax all over his shorts. I think that he fucked the grandmother.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, it was
that
funny.
And she liked
I was
it.
kind of surprised by that. Well, the only reason that we got that on is because the original scene was much worse. Originally, I walk into the room, and there's a huge Jesus on the cross.
Right.
And what happens is it's a little crooked, so I try to straighten it, and then the Jesus falls off the cross. And I pick up the Jesus, and I start hammering it back on the cross. And CBS just said, "We're not having a Jew hammer Jesus back on the cross."
Hey, Rod, the name Schneider, did you ever, when you were starting out in show business, did you ever consider changing it?
You know what? I never did, because there was a guy that I went to high school with who changed his name from he was a magician, and he changed it to Mark Hardin. And I said, "What a wuss, man!" I said, "Keep your good Jewish name,
Right.
And it's like I said I wouldn't want to, and now I wish I would have changed it just because a cool sounding name sounds better. But I'm proud of my name. It was my grandfather's name. He couldn't barely speak English. He was a good Austrian Jew, and just survived all the blah blah blah. So I'm glad I kept it. But
Rob,
yeah,
I admire that. I think it's sort of disappointing. I think it's disappointing when I meet a lot of Italian guys and stuff, and the generation before ours, they all changed their names. Jewish guys too. They're all ashamed of their ethnicity. They're almost making the racism and the all the bias true because they become ashamed of it. I like that you kept your name.
Well, but I do I forgive those guys because that was part of the thing. Like Bernie Schwartz would have never made it unless he changed his name.
Right, Tony Curtis, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Tony Curtis is a cooler sounding name. But at the same time, and I don't mean to pick on Jason Alexander, but his last name was Greenspan, and I think Greenspan's a cool name.
Yeah, why not? Go with it.
Greenspan's a cool name, I think, and the thing is, if you go with, that's why the thing I love about Adam Sandler is he was always proud, and like the very few guys have been as upfront as like him and you about their past. Like to have a Hanukkah song for kids, Jewish kids, to be proud of is like, are you kidding me? That was incredible.
It's true. Yeah, Sandler never tried to hide all that. That's true.
And he made, for Jewish kids to have a song at, when everybody else at Christmas times, I thought that was great. So, yeah, and like, I'm proud of my grandfather, my dad, because my dad said, hey, your grandfather would have loved this.
Isn't it crazy, though? Do people realize that Jerry Seinfeld's real name is Thomas Paine III? He actually went to a more Jewish...
He took a Jewish name.
He took a Jewish name because he saw these comics were succeeding. He's actually, yes, Thomas Paine III, for those of you trivia experts, if you ever want to know.
Wow. Well, like Lorne Michaels was Lorne Lipowitz or Lorne Lipowitz or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard. But that happens in the past, and it's like, I feel like, but I do think, hey, hang on to it, your name, and be proud of it. And
what is it, Clayton?
Hey, I just want to point something out. Robin, you're a huge young Elvis fan, right?
Yeah, I love Elvis. Was like, that's.
Well, yeah, not Rob, but Robin.
Were you really a fan, Rob, of Elvis, or were you really goofing on him? Because you do a pretty good Elvis impersonation.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was going to bring up. He does a spot. I was going to ask Robin, but I know that Robin's a huge young Elvis.
All right, forget Robin for 1 second, Clayton.
Because I don't do an impression.
Right. Rob.
Rob does. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you, Clayton. I got to get Clayton off the phone. Rob. You're really goofing on Elvis. You don't really...
Yeah, I was. Well, the thing about it was like, when I was a kid, like, 13, 14, 15, like Elvis was like, was a joke by that time. Then he passed away, then I went back and saw his stuff when I was a kid, and it's like you realize what a legend this guy was. So but the goofing on him was like, well, if you realize this guy was just a truck driver. And just like had no idea of how to handle any of this fame. And then when you get older and you get in the show business, you realize like when I heard him say he only sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night, it's like what kind of lunatic only sleeps 4 or 5 hours a night? And then look at us, we only sleep like 3, 4, 5 hours a night. You get it,
Yeah,
but
you're full of worry.
But the thing is, like, he's the biggest star in the world, and he would like only felt confident around like 13 and 14-year-old girls.
I know it's a little weird.
My cousin was like. Friends with this girl that he, that he almost killed on Dilaudid. She was 16.
Oh my God! He almost killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the girl. Her real name is Paige, but she was the girl that was in Elvis. What happened? That OD'd with him because they were doing Dilaudid. Except she's 16 and he was like in his 30s.
It's true. How did he not end up in jail?
Yeah,
no, they let Elvis do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
If Elvis would have gotten busted, just like Jerry Lee got busted, or what's his face, Hail Hail Rock and Roll,
yeah,
Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry. Then I think he could have survived it, but like everybody worshipped him so much that just like they let him do whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
and I think that led to his downfall, and that's what I'm hoping is going to happen to me.
Yeah, we hope you're so successful with your new sitcom that you can start. Destroying yourself.
Giving Dilaudid to 14-year-olds.
Yeah. One day, Rob Schneider will get to give Dilaudid to 14-year-olds and get away with it. Look,
I'm ready for it.
I wish you a ton of success, Rob. I think you're a great guy.
Thank you, Harry. I love you. Hey, congrats on your new show. I look forward. I'll come out there and see you guys in New York in a couple of months.
Good. Love that. All right, Rob. Good luck.
Thanks, Robin. Love you.
Bye.
Later. Bye. Rob Schneider, everybody. Like that guy.
I'm seeing a lot of Cheech Marin is Iranian on the internet.
Don't tell Rob. Because Geraldo told me that Cheech was a Mexican, and
well, how did it come up?
Because Geraldo is like best friends with Cheech, and they go boating and stuff all the time. And
he wouldn't be with him if he was Iranian.
No fucking way, Cheech is Iranian. I mean, maybe but he's Hispanic. I was going to say, isn't there such a thing as a Hispanic Iranian? Maybe he's got an Iranian descendant or something.
Right, that seems to be what the case is, but I can't really get a total handle on it. But I thought there would be nothing. There is stuff.
Well, you know what it is? I think Cheech... Okay, now I remember. It's coming crystal clear.
All right.
Cheech has joked of his Iranian descent. In other words, like making fun. Like, how sometimes I'll go, I'm Italian.
Right.
He goes, no, I'm not Hispanic, man. I'm Iranian. And then it ended up in all these websites as factual.
Okay. Because I'm like, wow, there's stuff here.
Well, look in the web. Look up Salma Hayek. They have her down as an Eskimo. You'll see. Just take a look. No, that's exactly what happened. Like it was a joke. Hey, no, man. I'm not Mexican, man. I'm Iranian. I'm Persian.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hyde and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Sal Governale, and on Monday's wrap-up show, we discuss Gary the Retard. Yay! Everybody loves Gary the Retard, and I love the fact that he embraces the fact that he's retarded. Hey, I'm retarded too. It takes one to know one. We also discussed my feelings on certain handicaps, like people who are deaf. You know, how I have a soft spot for them. Though there are some times that I personally wish I was deaf myself. But that's another story. So check it out.
Sal Governale is now joining us, and I wanted to compliment you, Sal, on a nice job you did during that whole Gary the Retard segment.
Oh, thank you, John. Very nice of you.
Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb here, but I will guess that you had no idea who Carrie Ann Inaba was.
I thought it was Carrie Ann and Arbor. Like, I thought it was like a Captain and Tennille type of thing.
Can I give you a little insight into how
Carrie Ann and Arbor.
This is so great. Howard goes, let's talk to Carrie Ann and Arbor. And Sal's running down the hallway, and he goes, who's Carrie Ann and Arbor? And we go, she's on Dancing with the Stars. And he goes, okay. And he runs into the studio.
I had no idea.
So did you think you were doing two people? Like what?
Well, I shouted it. I go, who the hell's Carrie Ann and Arbor? I thought it was a singing group or something. And Gary goes, she sings on whatever. She's on whatever it is. So I walked in, and I had no idea she was Asian as well, right? So she's Asian. She's on one of these talent shows. Dancing with the Stars, right? And that was primarily it. But thank God Gary's retarded because regardless, I think I could have done Carrie and Arbor if there was another Ann Arbor, and he wouldn't have caught on either way. Gary was oblivious to who she or they were.
Now you mess with Gary the Retard all the time, and you say he has a great sense of humor about it, or you were saying like I don't want to put words in your mouth.
He embraces being retarded.
Yeah, what did you mean by that?
Exactly that. Like Gary, yes, Gary is retarded. Gary has an extremely, extremely low IQ, but Gary is also aware of it. He has the ability to recognize things, and he loves that he's Gary the Retard. Everybody has a niche at something, and Gary's niche is being the lovable, fun retard, and I think we live in a society where we pity these people. I think it's almost like that attitude that certain people have against, let's say, for example, like Michael Stivic from All in the Family was a liberal, and he would pity African Americans, and that was more insulting than what Archie Bunker would do, which would be an ignorant stance. I think it's the same thing with Gary. When you pity a retard, I think it's very insulting. Gary has the ability to get by. He puts on his own clothes. He can do a lot of things. So, yeah, he knows he's retarded, but he embraces it, and he celebrates it.
But is goofing on someone retarded insulting?
Yes, it is, to a certain degree, but Gary, in some odd way, gets it. Like, look, I'll goof on Gary for his teeth, but just because he's smarter than Gary the Retard doesn't necessarily mean he can't take the joke. Gary has the ability to take the joke, and I think embrace it to a certain degree. As long as it's not mean-spirited.
Do you think Gary oftentimes knows it's a joke?
Yes, absolutely. Well, listen.
You think he knows a joke every time you're making a joke? When you guys,
not every time.
Do you think that he was panicked that the retarded flu was coming after him for real?
That's a great question. I don't think so much panic, that maybe more annoyed, maybe a combination of the two. The retarded flu thing, how that evolved is that Wendy called. Well, I did.
No, I got how it evolved. Don't worry about that. What I'm saying is,
I guess he did at the time.
I think he was scared of the retarded flu. So how could he have a good sense of humor about something he doesn't fully understand?
in some cases, some things go over his head, as they would me, as they would you, some in rare occasions. And I don't know.
How rare do you think it is for Gary?
Well, look, now when Rich and I call Gary, half of the time he's like, you fucking idiots. Gary's cursing us out. He's calling us morons. He gets the joke immediately. 90% of the time he gets the joke, and he's funny because he'll give it right back to us. So
I just wonder if you saying that he gets it, he's one of the guys, is just a way for you to feel better about yourself.
No, I think he gets it to a certain degree. He knows he's Gary the Retard. He's proud of being Gary the Retard. We did a prank call where Rich and I called as a nurse and a doctor, and we gave him good news that he's no longer retarded, and he was upset about that. So, yeah, I mean, I have a soft spot for people with what kills me, like deaf people, like really kills me. Every time I see somebody deaf, I'm on the verge of tears. I don't know why. I always cry when I see deaf people. I saw a documentary with deaf people, and they went to a Motley Crue concert, and they were holding the speakers for vibrations, and I just broke down in tears. So I definitely have a soft spot for handicaps, but.
So do you have
at the same time, what I appreciate about the deaf people is that they didn't want. I felt bad, like I'm pitying them. They were enjoying themselves. They, that action of holding those speakers made them enjoy music like we do, and it was very, very inspiring. And I think that's the same thing with Gary. It's like, you have to know how far, in any capacity with any person, how far you can push it.
Well, you talk about that you have a lot of empathy for handicapped people. Do you have the same feelings for, say, Eric the Midget that you do for, say, Gary the Retard?
Eric the Midget's, God was in a bad mood when he made Eric the Midget. No matter how you slice it. I mean, Eric, if Eric wants 4 cans of soda, so be it. Eric should get a warehouse full of soda. The guy's built like a turkey with lobster claws, sits in a wheelchair. I mean, it sucks. Look at his life. It's absolutely horrible. He has every right to be miserable and bitter. I have a functioning penis. I have feet that work. I have somewhat of a head of hair. I'm not overweight, and I'm bitter. I shouldn't be bitter. He should be.
Sal, why do you think you have that soft spot for deaf people? Did something happen at a young age, or what about it do you think drives you to tears?
I have no idea. It's just that. You know why? Because I love music so much, and when you see somebody who's been denied that gift, it's so heartbreaking. It really is. And being blind. I mean, I really think we take it for granted.
But you're right now. You're pitying those people.
Well, it upsets me. I'm not pitying them, but like.
But you're like,
in a sense,
my God. You got that weird tone of voice that pity people get.
Yeah, I do. You do. Yeah, to a certain degree. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, I wish they could enjoy what we enjoy.
But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I know. You feel for them, but I can't figure out. You were saying, like, it's a good thing not to pity a guy like Artie the Retard, but then you were pitying the other people, so I can't figure out where you're coming from.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, what makes you pity one but not the other?
Okay. That's a good question. I have to think about that.
Thank you.
First of all, if you have a heart, you would feel bad for anybody with any certain type of handicap. And I do feel, it sucks that Gary is retarded. But the beautiful thing about Gary the Retard is that he makes me realize that, hey, even though he has this affliction, he embraces it, and it doesn't get in the way. Same way like Marty the Midget, who's a phenomenal wrestler. It's inspiring in a way, that's all. It doesn't mean that I don't feel bad. It sucks. I mean, if I had a retarded child, I would feel horrible. And when you see people who are mentally challenged, you feel terrible about it. But Gary, to me, the fact that Gary gets a kick out of it and he's embraced it and he makes it entertaining is great.
I think what Sal's saying, deaf people need to become like Harry the hearing impaired, get like a moniker.
Is that how you feel?
I don't even know what the hell a moniker is.
Alan,
it's a thing Jewish people wear during the holidays.
Well, that's a yarmulke.
Alan, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, I just wanted to say, Gary's been good on the show when you guys aren't picking on him. Remember when they took him to the strip club? I mean, that tape was great. You guys could have him in and be nice to him, and he would be I think that could be a good segment to just bring him in and be nice to him.
I agree with this guy. Just every once in a while, I'll say, hey, Gary, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I think visually and orally.
I like him as a judge. I always said that. I like Gary as a judge for any contest because not only is everything the same thing, but he's so funny to me that he's so nice. He would never say that anybody sucks at anything.
Right.
And I think that's funny.
But when Howard was going through all the bit ideas, and there were plenty of ideas, he was just like, you know what, we're just not going to do it this time. Did that decision surprise you, Gary?
I mean, it's different than it was in the past, but I think Howard was. Gary really was panicked when we sent it to the moon. He's like, get me off the moon.
He was scared.
I know, and I think we felt a little bad about that.
Now, Sal, why do you think he was scared with that?
Because it was a rocket ship the size of a fucking mailbox. Even I think Gary was in there for a brief moment, Gary Delabate, and he almost shit in his pants. I mean, that thing was pretty scary. I'm claustrophobic. I would never go in there.
But do you guys think, like what Sal said, do you think he was really scared that he was on another planet,
Yes.
or not a planetary body, and not just like the confined area?
No, he was scared that he was on another planet. I really do believe that.
I think it's great. I mean, that's
Wait, did
funny.
you not get that?
I think he's sort of like Sal said. I think he doesn't 100% get what we're doing all the time, but I think he gets that he's playing along.
Hey, it's Gary Delabate. On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we did something we swore we'd never do again. We dove into the Benji vortex, starting with Lisa G coming in and talking about how disappointed she was in Benji's behavior, how he had changed, and with me accusing Benji of crowbarring in plugs and just being a plug machine, which he did not take too well. Here's what happened.
As we dig a little deep into the Benji vortex, although we're still awaiting Benji to get here, but we do have...
Isn't that part of the vortex?
Yes, I guess it is. This is his master plan. But we do have 2/3 of the news team here with John Lieberman and Lisa G. And
by the way, Lisa G came to me earlier today and was emphatic that she would not be able to come down to wrap up today to discuss this topic.
Lisa, thank you.
It's called peer pressure.
Thank you for making the time, Lisa.
Thank you. I got a late start today with some interviews I was doing, and I just thought I couldn't have time, but it's important, and I'm making time, and I'm glad I'm here.
Well, Lisa, I was shocked to hear that your bias prevented you from covering this story.
I wanted to go cover it, and my news director, Brad Driver, didn't think it would be the best idea.
Why?
Because it's hard for me to answer. I think everyone feels I'm too emotionally involved. I felt I could have done a fair job, but I understand.
Are you feuding with Elisa?
No, I'm not.
Is she feuding with you?
John would know better. He's interviewed
Well, you
her.
would know, Lisa. Let's be honest. There's not a chick in the world that doesn't know if another chick's giving you shit.
If Lisa has said, and Lisa, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Lisa has said that she thinks Elisa may be using Benji or not have his best interests at heart, I can understand why Elisa may be upset with that.
I think she heard a comment I said, and that upset her. The bottom line is Benji's doing what he wants to do, and that's upsetting to me because I liked him the way he used to be, and I feel that when she says jump, he jumps. So it's not against her. It's probably more so against Benji. To me, he has turned into a hamster. He looks like a hamster. He's acting like a hamster. Like, oh, my God, Lisa, what can I do for her? Like that. And so that's upsetting to me. I liked him the way he used to be.
Gary? This sounds like a jealous woman.
No, I'm not jealous.
That's what it sounds like.
Why is it jealous?
Because
that's naive.
Why can't
It's
people?
not-
But why can't people change?
Pet names like hamster?
And the other thing
I'm
is,
not giving him a pet name. I'm criticizing the way he looks and he acts.
if you were in a relationship with a guy, right, you would probably change a little bit. You just do because you people adapt to each other.
We all do.
Right. So then I have to accept that this is what makes him happy. It's similar to, you've got kids, having a kid, maybe not liking her boyfriend so much, but realizing this is her choice.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Right. So
But-
that's what I'm going through.
Benji, it's all about you right now.
I just walked in, so I don't know what's been said.
Well, we were talking about Lisa was saying how she feels, and Lisa, you say so. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
That it's upsetting to me that the way you've changed, that I liked you the way you were before. And I'm not the only one who has said that, but this is your choice. So it's my issue. I need to accept it.
Okay, so this happens a lot around here. People just kind of make labels. How have I changed?
I feel that when Elisa says jump, you jump.
And I
watched that video of the two of you in your apartment, and you take off your hat, and she goes, "Put back that hat," and you put the hat back on, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with your head?
Lisa's
Big deal.
theory. Hold on. Lisa's theory was, by the way, because she said it to me this morning, that you were blowing your image by showing the world your baldness, and Elisa wanted to put that hat back on.
Well, I think she thinks, and I do too, that I look a lot better with a hat on, and that.
Benji, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? You have a bald spot or whatever it is.
Well,
I don't know anymore.
Well, Elisa, I'm much more. I think.
What?
I think I'm a more attractive person with a hat. Is there?
Well, then-
but that goes way before Elisa. You can play clips of the show when you guys yell at me, and sometimes I do jokingly take off the hat.
Benji, are you going to say that you haven't changed since you've been in this relationship at all?
Not my personality, I don't think. I've lost some weight, and
You changed your look?
Not a lot, but a few things.
Not a lot.
No, not a lot. I
So
grew a
you're-
beard at her suggestion. I thought that was a. You know what?
You grew a beard, then you colored it.
And
then
you
you
wore
put on a
platform
hat.
sneakers.
That was my idea to dye the beard. But first of all, I thought that was a good suggestion. I said, I'll try that, and I ended up liking it. And sometimes I shave it when I don't. So I mean, but Lisa, you're saying that I don't know. I don't think my personality's really changed that much. I just don't think. I think that's a. BS.
Lisa's not the only one upset, Benji, because I was talking to Gary before, and he's having some issues with you lately in terms of what's going on.
I feel like that I said this on the news, so I'll say it right to your face. I feel like you're becoming like Jackie, like you're crowbarring in plugs, and I feel like it's become about plugging everything that you do. You don't reel it in at all, and it's getting tedious. And I almost feel like Howard's the sleeping tiger, and you're poking him. One day he's going to get up and it's just going to go, enough of this shit already. And I'm not sure what the end game is like if it was for something. Like, is this song really super important to you? Like, super important on a level that you're going to go all in with your plugs? Because you can't plug like this forever.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know how to fight that. You feel that
it's not
way.
a fight.
No, I mean, I don't know how to argue that. What's the question? Is this song the most important thing in my life?
In other words, I feel like I feel like you're taking whatever you put in the bank as far as goodwill on how much you can plug something, and you're putting it all in on this particular project.
I think a lot of things that you guys think I do to seek attention on the show, I'm not. I'm just being myself.
But my question is, are you answer what I just said? Everybody, we all know that we have.
You're saying your question is, do you still beat your wife? Kind of question.
Then that wasn't what I said.
No, it's that kind of question that it presumes.
It's not.
It presumes some guilt.
No, it doesn't. I'm saying that you're taking all the goodwill you built up and you plug day and night. That's that's not bullshit. That's a fact.
No, but I don't think I do, Gary. A plug day and I do plugs on the show that we're given the opportunity to do.
You bring it up whenever you can, and you do whatever you can. Wait a second, and you do whatever you can to draw attention to having people talk. It's not an interpretation. It's a fact.
Are you talking about the writing on the hands, Gary?
At least, and you were very not truthful today. You did say to me off the air yesterday, I thought about taking it off, and I thought, why should I do that?
I thought about that. The fact, like, I did it for a purpose of that. Hey, this is something like when I want to look at it, I can look at it and it'll help me learn the lyrics. And then right before I got in work yesterday, I was like, fuck, you know what? They're going to give me shit they're going to say because they always think I'm doing shit for attention.
Right.
And I'm like, because they think that, maybe I should wash it, even though that wasn't the reason I put it on there. But I said, fuck that. It's something I would do for a purpose, not for the attention. I'm not going to just change things so they don't think I'm seeking attention. That's what I said. And I think that you took part of that, but you didn't take the full thing.
Well, I think you said, I thought of their feelings, and I thought of my feelings, and my feelings were way more important than what their feelings are. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
But that's what you're saying.
I'm saying that you would have listened to me clearly.
I heard you.
Okay.
I heard everything you said.
You thought I did it for a certain purpose. I said, that's not the purpose I did it. But it hit me before I got here that you would think that. But I said, you know what? What I'm doing is not a bad thing, and I did it for another purpose. I'm not going to change it because...
I'll give you that you did it for whatever purpose you want. Say you didn't do it for the purpose of getting on the air. I'll give you that. But you realized that it was going to be a distraction, and you said distraction...
How is it a distraction?
Well, Benji, don't be fucking stupid. Don't that bullshit about... Of course it's a distraction. Everybody fucking noticed it and handed Howard a note. It's weird. You're fucking writing on your hands. It's odd, and everybody noticed it. Don't act like it's not weird or a distraction.
I don't think it's that weird or that much of a distraction.
But see, that's your move on everything. I don't know what I don't know who that guy is over there. I've never seen him before in my life. When we know
that's
you know
John
who it
Lieberman.
is. I'm just saying that's your move. Your move is you don't know anything till you need to know.
All right.
I don't think you're being truthful there, Benji.
Give me a lie detector test.
No, about the words. Everybody noticed it. Like, maybe that wasn't your purpose,
right?
But you're kidding yourself. If anybody walked in here and did that, people are going to notice. That's the nature of the show.
If I did, you'd write Howard and Oak. There's something weird on Gary's hands.
Well, it's,
you would.
Even with the hickeys,
and then you write a
too.
joke about it.
And he came in with the hickeys too, And I mean, nobody else.
I agree with that too. I think that's part of a whole sort of passive aggressive thing.
Right.
Notice me.
Right.
Maybe you should remake that song.
All right.
Notice me, notice me.
Here's a question, Gary. Now, you booked Elisa to start with.
Yes.
Do you regret opening up this whole can of worms?
Absolutely not. I thought that was a great... Benji pitched this idea. I love the premise of what it was. I love that we got to meet her. And I'm even glad that they're a couple. I don't regret that for a second. That was a funny bit.
John in Pennsylvania, you're on the wrap-up show.
Who, John?
Hey, John.
Hey, John, how you doing? Gary, why do you care? Why do you give him such a hard time?
Because I think that we're all held accountable here, and Benji sometimes thinks he isn't.
I mean, it's like yesterday, Sal. I mean, you have a unique way of just twisting words around and making them both look like douchebags.
Well, what did I do to Sal yesterday?
Yesterday, when he was talking about the blind guy, and you just have a weird way of just twisting it around to make it seem like, like they're assholes.
Sal said yesterday that Gary the retard is really happy being a retard. He's really embraced it, and that's his niche in life. So I questioned that. If you think that's a problem, maybe you should question your niche in life.
Gary the retard. No, easy. Gary, don't get me wrong. You're amazing at what you do. You just have an odd way. And Benji,
but what's odd about it? Sal said something stupid that maybe you didn't hear it as stupid, but a lot of us did. John and I looked at each other right away. Go, what the hell is that? So we explore that.
John, do you think Gary's picking on Benji unfairly?
I don't know if it's unfair. I'm writing on your hands a little weird, and the fucking hickey thing's a little crazy. But I mean, he's a unique person. You guys, even you, John, sometimes you guys have a way of just picking on him and just let him go. So he's fucking weird. Let him go. God, I just don't get it. Benji, I'm on your side, buddy.
Thank you, man.
I think everybody here, for the most part, does let Benji go. And
I agree.
Beforehand, we said we're happy that him and Elisa are in a relationship, but I know Lisa and others are concerned that he's being used, and I don't think that's a crazy assumption to make. I hope it's not the case, and Benji, you're the only one, and maybe even if you are, you're still enjoying the time with her, and that's great.
Lisa said something interesting the other day, though.
I took 24 hours about it.
All day long.
Yeah, that's all we have to hear all day.
She really is. It's like in the cop movies where the chief says, "You're too close to the case. You're off the case." Like, it's the same thing. So the other day she said something about, how he's kind of changing, and she said, it's as if your son starts acting weird. Like, she put him in the context of, like,
No,
kid.
I just said.
Well,
I just
at least
said that to
I have
John.
a revelation to make.
No, I said that to John. It's like when his daughter dates dates a guy that he's not that fond of. So but that's their choice. So this is Benji's choice. It just feels tacky to me that everything is Elisa on the air, and other spouses or girlfriends, you're not hearing that. So it feels tacky to me. And
so
have to be
why?
honest.
I agree with that. By the way.
Okay, so who are you mad at?
Not mad at anybody. If I'm mad at anybody, I'd be saying I'm mad at you, but I'm not really mad. I think the word is it's disappointing. It's like there's unspoken rules here, and you sort of like you don't want to overstay your welcome. You don't want to exploit the show, and I feel like you're treading onto that ground. That's just that's my opinion. I can't tell you what to do.
So what's the principle I violated?
The principle that you violated, that you should show some respect for the show, and that when you're constantly plugging, and you say you're not, but you are, and you're saying that I'm making that up, and I'm not.
Benji,
So,
I'll translate in here. You're using your plugs to plug Elisa's stuff all the time,
and it's my stuff too. But you say my plugs at the end of the show? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's total. That's fine. The plugs at the end of the show are fine. It's all the stuff in between to try and get noticed. You come in. You don't even know that you come in with all this stuff to try to get us to notice you, and there's actually been a movement to not notice you. Whether it's the shirt or the hat or the beard or the lifts or the writing on the hands, and I could go on and on and on.
No, I just I think the lots of times with me, you guys assume things are for a certain reason, and you get mad.
But why would we assume that? Benji, you once showed up in African garb and said you came from a tribe. We thought that was a riot. We let you go with that. You do come in to try and be noticed sometimes. It's part of your comedy.
Well, that was.
But this is a weird.
That was for Kalahari Kai, and you know that.
I'm saying that it's not like this is without precedent.
Were you asking Lisa why she was mad at you before?
Yeah.
Lisa?
I'm not mad at you. Like I said, it feels tacky to me, and that's upsetting to me because I like you and I know who you are, and we had a private talk about it.
Yeah,
and
you said you said very, very mean stuff publicly about my girlfriend. I thought you were being very, very.
What did she say that was mean?
I'm not going to repeat it.
Well, I think the comment was in one of my pieces.
John will repeat it.
Lisa called Lisa's career a non-career.
No, I said
referring to her musical ability.
No, I said Benji's trying to be a hero to a non-career. That's what I said.
Lisa's memorized the line.
So
Because
that
I
was
know
so
that was
that was a
hurtful,
strike.
and I apologize.
No, you never. Actually, you said I'm sorry. You kept saying I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings.
Didn't you
never
also
said apologize for saying it? I think one, you said it. I don't know what your rage is about it. What your upsetness is about it.
It's not a rage.
You haven't heard what everyone has been saying here. That
So why do you?
Well,
Why,
what
so
other,
why are you?
Look,
why are you
if
giving?
she's that talented, she'll be fine on her own. She's getting noticed. You can take a breath about it, Benji.
Okay, what if
I feel like you're in this like trance about. Oh my God, I have to get her a career, a recording contract. It will
I
happen.
enjoy being part of
she's
this.
being meant. Yeah, but it just feels like too much.
Well,
It doesn't feel organic, that's for sure. It does
To
not
what?
feel to anything. It feels very manufactured.
All right.
Lisa also said the keytar's for fags.
Gary, the thing that surprises me about this is I thought Lisa had sort of a, being into Benji a little bit, like, I could be the one who changed him. But based on this, it sounds like you have much more of a maternal instinct towards Benji.
Friendship, a friendship. I mean, I like Benji. I think he's funny. I think he's very smart. I think he's 10 steps ahead of everyone. And I think he's fantastic. So it's upsetting to me that I see some changes that I don't feel good about, but I'm not Benji. So like I said, it's my issue. I need to accept it and let him go.
That is true. That is
No,
true.
meaning like let him fly. Let him be who he is.
John, is this obsession driving you guys crazy?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I have to keep my headphones on for 9 hours a day listening to silence just so that if she starts talking about Benji, I have an excuse. I have the headphones in my head. Let me say one thing. I brought Lisa in an article over the weekend, the New York Times, How to Break Up with a Friend. And that's what I feel like as a third person is happening. Lisa can't let Benji go as a friend, and that's what's happened here. But I just have a quick question for Benji.
Sure.
I think it all. I did a number of interviews last night at the concert with Elisa's family,
Right.
her mother, her brother, and it actually changed my view a little bit. I think this all started off very shticky. I don't know what happened between you two in the beginning, but her family at least believes this is a real relationship. It's really heading places. Is that a safe? Was there a point where this went from maybe being shticky to all of a sudden now being a real relationship?
No, it's always been. It started with I had a really big crush on Elisa, and she really liked me a lot, and we were friends, really good friends, and I had a really big crush on her, and she developed feelings towards me.
She wants to get married sooner rather than later, is what she said.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do that?
I'm not ready to do that. I would want to date longer and get to know each other. What's
I laugh because I'm not giving you a hard time, but it's funny because I don't know that you'll ever be ready.
Well, that's an issue we're exploring.
Because you were with somebody for a long time that I thought was as close to being a person you would marry if you wanted to get married, and it broke up because you didn't want to take it further. And I just see you getting older and older, but not.
Right. You're right, and that's something like I am in therapy, and we're going to like couples therapy. And that's one of the issues we're talking about. Like, I absolutely love Elisa, and I think she would make a great wife, and I'd be very. But I do struggle with the happiness of marriage versus the freedom of not being married.
We got to take a break, but really quick, even that is a notice me move because who goes to couples therapy 2 months into being a couple? You have to be a couple first.
I think we started that not as a joke for the show, but sort of as each other. We scheduled an appointment, just thought it'd be fun, and then we needed it.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about Howie Mandel dropping by, and Howie wants to prank Howard, and Howard wants absolutely no part of that. So we speculated on what would go down if that actually happened, and plus talked about the chemistry that Howie and Howard are going to have on America's Got Talent. I don't know if we're right, but here's what we talked about.
Does Howie think that Howard is avoiding his phone calls? You heard some of that paranoia today, and you can't tell if he's messing with Howard or if he really thinks that he's avoiding him.
Yeah, I couldn't understand why. When I sent Howie the number, I said, if you don't get him, just leave a message. And I don't know why he won't leave a message.
He said he won't leave a message to an automated type of attendance sort of thing.
As opposed to what, an answering machine?
I guess. I mean,
or a voicemail?
I think I thought what I took out of it, he was concerned I thought that if someone else was getting the message and someone else getting his information.
He might think like, well, I'm not positive this is Howard's number. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll call a number and it won't say it's the person, and sometimes I just say it's me, but I don't leave my number because if I'm leaving it on the wrong machine, I don't want somebody to have my number.
Well, and Howie did say that. He said he left his name because in the beginning it asked you for your name, but he didn't leave anything else and thought Howard got it, but he did. Howard said he didn't. But Howie's also the guy who's telling Howard, relax, take it easy, just enjoy yourself when you're judging America's Got Talent. And I don't know if Howard can do that, Gary. I mean, he says he's going in, he just wants to judge, but after hearing what he's going to go through today, I think it's going to be a difficult task for him.
I just hope, I mean, partially being a little selfish, but especially for Howard, I just hope it's as good an experience as he wants it to be, because he's doing this because he really wants to do it for the fun of it. And Howie, I love Howie's thing about how, like, I'd go to clubs at night. I've been, he said, I've been, judging people for years. It's not even a job.
He said he would sit at home and watch, when he was off, and now he doesn't even consider it a job. I loved his wardrobe request, too, of chainmail and tunics when they asked Howie, when he wants to come on America's Got Talent, because Howie never revealed that he was pranking them. He just said he really wants tunics and put the costume person through that. But Howard's got his wardrobe, I guess, all set, or he's setting it up, and he said, well, Howie, there's an easy way to avoid like these 3 a.m. nights. And just listen to what I have to say, and then we'll take care of it. But I think with Vegas week, there are going to be some serious deliberations by the producers and the judges, and Howard's in for some long nights, whether he wants them or not.
And that's going to be trouble because Howard doesn't do 2 a.m. It's just not. It's not in his repertoire. He's just not. I mean, he did it, and now he doesn't do it anymore.
Is that? I haven't seen the show in the past. Is that part of the show?
No.
It's I would think that'd be a great part of the show.
Well, no. They'll shoot a lot of it, and they might shoot until 2 a.m. Is that what he was saying? But
no. The Vegas week, that's when they narrow it down to 48 contestants.
Oh, I see.
And so that's when they're up late deciding who the 48 are going to be.
But they shoot all of that, right?
Yeah, they do. But that's not a quick decision
Right.
to be made. So that week is a very intense, long week. And Howard's like, well, why up till 3 in the morning? Just make up your minds and go forward. But I don't know if the producers are going to be up for it or if Howie and Sharon are going to be up for it. But Howie said to Howard, I'm going to mess with you. And Howard's like, if you fuck with me, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
And then he talked about rubbing germs all over him. And I think I said this when I went in today. I think Howie will mess with him once. And then Howard will strike back once, and then that will be the end of the pranks on Howard.
I can't wait to see the whole thing unfold in the tabloids. Howard Stern rubs feces on Howie Mandel after he puts Coke machine in front of door.
I think Howie will do it, but not in a way, like an interruptive way, like blocking Pierce from getting out of his dressing room. I think he'll do something more like candid camera-ish that Howard would find funny. Like, for some reason, all day he encounters Asian midgets or something like that. That's all he encounters. And I think that's the kind of thing Howard would do.
Howard doesn't find being pranked funny if it's happening to him, right, Gary?
We pranked him once. And, Richard pranked him. Was it Richard or Scott?
Yeah.
And he didn't like that. But we pranked him once, and I did this with Robin's permission, and it was on April Fool's Day about 15 years ago. Basically, we rigged the homeless game, and Robin kept betting with him, and Robin had all the answers. And that, I think he thought was funny, but that was good for the air and relatively harmless. And so that, but that was once, and once was enough. And I was called by, there was a version of Candid Camera that was on the air like 10 years ago, or Punked. I know that's what it was. I was called by the people of Punked. They wanted to punk Howard. They wanted me to help him. I go, you're out of your fucking mind.
I remember Scott and Ronnie sending in Langford early to prank Howard, and we all know how that turned out.
But can you imagine what would happen if I said to the people at Punked, oh, this is Howard, I said, you don't understand, he doesn't like this. And I said, I can't do this without his agent, but I'm not setting Howard up for a prank.
You'd be paying for it for
I'd be fired.
Years.
I'd be fired.
Yeah, I think you would be too. Justin in Washington, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, how do you think that Howard and his relationship with Howie's going to translate on AGT?
Well, I think everything's great now because they both have a lot of respect for each other, but I wonder how it's going to play out when they vehemently disagree with each other. Whether they could do that civilly or Howard could go, Howard says, oh, you're an idiot. I wonder how it's going to play out.
I think Howie and Sharon, well, I know, are both huge fans of Howard and this show. But I also have some backbone, and I think when it gets into it, they're going to be very passionate, and that's going to make for a good show. You don't want everyone to roll over because Howard says that's the way it is. But I don't know. It depends how Howard he's going to treat it very seriously, but how Howie reacts to Howard is going to be, I think, the interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I've never watched America's Got Talent. I think it's kind of gay to watch America's Got Talent. But look, Howard's going on there. I've been listening to Howard for over 20 years. I'm going to check it out. You know, I might not watch the entire season, but I'm going to check it out because I want to see some mayhem.
Ralph, do you think that Howie Mandel is going to mess with Howard?
I think he'll try to, and Howard will like sneeze on him or something, and it'll be done. Because Howard, being a germaphobe too, knows exactly what to do.
That's true. He knows his weaknesses because he suffers for the same. They're going to have a germ fight, I think, between the two of them.
Oh, I think that would just be stupid. I mean, who wants to see that too? I mean, you want to, just see them doing the show. So.
And what do you think the odds are of the 3 a.m. night in Vegas?
0.0.
I agree.
Howard will say, "Listen, this is going to be it, and that's it." Or Howie, I will sneeze on you.
But will they say to Howard, like, look, if you're out of here, you're not voting as part of this segment? Will that be, that might be part of the show too?
Jeez, I hope they don't take it that seriously.
Ralph, I don't think I'm giving too much away. Ralph can attest to this. When you go out to Howard's house, sometimes he has you out there, and you go to, he has dinner and stuff. Like dinner's at like 7:00. And at like 9:45, sometimes 10:15, he goes, "You guys stay up. I'm going to bed." Right?
Yeah. Sharon, you and Howie deliberate. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you guys work this out. Let me know how it turns out in the morning.
Yeah. Well, he's not a 2 a.m. kind of guy.
No.
I mean, that would throw off his whole schedule. Because then what do you do the next day? I mean, like Howie apparently likes to just hang out and just do this all day. So I think they're gonna have to shape up over there.
Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Ralphie.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right. One last thing about this, and then we'll take a break, Teddy. When they're getting down to it, Howie said the things you have to adjust to are, one, the audience, because they love you when you walk in, and the second, you don't like that cute 12-year-old who can't sing, they boo you, which Howard said he'll have no problem with.
But easier said than done. I don't think I'll have a problem with it, but it's easy to say. But have you ever been booed by a lot of people?
Yes.
Me too. It sucks.
But I think the big challenge, and with 15 million people watching on TV, that's what Howard has to deal with. But I think the bigger challenge is all the judges get to chime in. And Howie said, if you want to interrupt me. Like, don't hold back. But I wonder if Howard will be able to do that. If he'll feel comfortable interrupting, or he'll just wait his turn. It's not the Howard Stern show. It's America's Got Talent with these three judges.
He keeps saying, "I understand. That's the beauty of the show. It's not my show. I don't have to carry the weight." So he says he understands it, and we'll see.